CareFinder is a real estate company that focuses on property development within the Gambia. We pride ourselves with providing not just quality and durable houses, but also state-of-the-art designs tailored to our clients' tastes and expectations. Our unique experience and expertise is second to none in the industry. We are currently building and selling 3-bedroom bungalows at Sukuta Traffic Lights and Jabang. We're also building and selling 3-bedroom story buildings at Sukuta Paradise. Other sites are also in the pipeline. With CareFinder, payment options are available. With just 40% deposit, you can get your house started. For more information, contact us on 329-5188, 727-0049, 709-8418. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CareFinder. With CareFinder, you are assured of a secure investment.
Nyatimbu ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia lemu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyatimbu ete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyatimbu ntari taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibinado ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyatimbu. Yo min fo enta sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kino. Min tata fa wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindija
ako ngatimbo nko yiko kabo transuto kata wala fa wuli muan ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal eke tam eke charge mun fa abuka fensi
oui
1% da malam mati
wota yara gamen no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko ka kodo ki ibadi ngol
yaje ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibidin abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas power isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
otam baden gameno albe sito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela la mobile kon APS wallet nyaata doro barin kodo nim fata do so kon to
dañu be fo no le mol ñala jam nim fata do so kon ba fo le
basi ti jembita to register jede kadu sa APS 100% namuti
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
Assalamu alaikum baringolu ngali konton ngali bismillah kerfatu jang ngamobe tentu ngamobe jay fon fedan di yalon ko ibela wato ta kan ibe kerfatu jube kan nyin tembenda mba fala mobe ala baraka baba alkalla wato menta ka bulanno ma ka tinna nyada nin kan aka jamfa mba fala fanam juma mubarak ndunta sankuto kono be alamansa talla danila fo nse bo kono kairo kono so simani jata kende abala nin harje firngo mi alon ko mba danila mansa talla bulu nyi sankuto mi alon ko ndunta wala kono teng dol fanantata a manke ya kulega alamansa talla la meatina aya bu ay samba bari fana kamunta ko alamansa talla anala kuol landir nyalam ayentol menu fanantu jang mbe danila fanan pour asenso jata kende ala ani sima ya ba pour ka sankote mabe fanan ba fala mobe ko happy new year kote ke nyin sankoto mi alon ko dunta wala kono 2026 alla grand bantaba programme le mi alon ko akanale arjuma wa arjuma ninyi wato sita nyin tembenda be fala mobe fanan ala barka bake men yalon ko wolle ka style ki ñing Kerfatu Jang mba fala fanan al tenten ka style ki ni ngata be programme o jube kan ñin tembenna na YouTube mba fala fanan aletaji ale subscribe na YouTube channel oto bawo nga kodol findindi Facebook oto jang nga kodol findindi YouTube oto mbuko findindi na Facebook oto jang oto mba fala mobe yeta na YouTube channel oto yeta ye subscribe je wokurunde findita je drong alba jelale well of course mutana ne kote ke nim programme kote arjuma kote kal kalam tandi ko bunda fula wolle nyim programme fasa ka sembentu yandi wala mu APS anin care finder etolle bunda fuloti men yalon ko ye bulodu nyim programme koto ka sembentu yandi ka fasa APS etol keta bundati mi yalon ko kodikiyo anin ka kodota ka mamma wala fannala nanata kodikiyo la nyim banko kanjang mo safo nyontangol le muti sika mantere la koro nyo sabo mantere la koro kodikiyo anin ka kodota nyim banko kanjang bari ap kilim fanam be Gambia banko kanjan safo dunia kono mobe nyanta ka aposoto ila bulu kono telefono konole wole mu APS wallet ila nyi wallet mu fenati mialon ko kujamal la katamaje adaba kono ise suit sino fo suto dutala ila kaspa e bang imalong ibe kaspa sot la nyameng APS natele ko jakal kudal be bang nyim banko kanjang ise kaspa sanno suto wati ise kaspa sanno ila lampo ay malela bungo kono bari manda woto fana ise ku jamal keno je bawo ibuke charge ni fon fana dinke je ron kaspa sanne banga life credit ko ni ku katangolu ise be sanno je ite wala of course ite kaninna fenna bari ifilantin kotake nyim programme ba me alon ko anyanta nala memo yusundurti ila tiketolu bawo ya itendir kela ko tiketol te wafila bundato bari ni frara je drong ila ni APS wallet to isela tiketo sanje nyo sabote fala bundato waranto bata kotlongote sotno la nyim bundato bari ila ni APS apo ni memo APS wallet ise tiketo sanno je wati la mi alonko abe mako la baba ke itela energy use bakela wo nyama o mu kulati mi alonko yo fana dundi je woto mba fala mobe ye APS well of course wallet apo ni ya download ya kela telephone kono kule mi alonko akumayata baba bakele albela nombal jela screen otole ninga tara allafte ke kumandi nyaato domanding albe jela screen otole bari fana nanata korda lo anin korda wafula nyim banko kanjang bunda mi alonko e farmansa tay waniata bake memu ker findati e tol mu bundati mi alonko e kam mamman korda wafulla anin ka korda lo nyim banko kanjang ninga tara kene ken sangale be bulu ilafta kalo wati sutuna waranto wato mi alonko ete fon bella firi walla ni frata ker finder drum e be ma ko la e be la korda lo la waranto e be la kenolo la anin nyala mi alonko abe farmansa la baba bake ninga tara fana korda lori mbandingo ibe sulari wolda ñun bemu kulati mi alon ko ker fanda ka ñul bekele woto ni ngatere be sulari kenol la waranto be sulari korda la kalo ñim banko kanjan dron ni furata ker fanda ibe ñul be sotla ñi la tole ñaato domandi albe fanan nombal jela screen la mi alon ko albe kumandi la annibe ñomoy la andum Allah hajo abe jarala mutana no koteke arjuma koten anin programme koten di Grand Bantaba show nene welcome.
Thank you very much, Sidi. I'm content back in SO4. Dari SO, min yatin na nga SO. I switch seats. So when SO back so the excitement is nothing because I've switched seats. Bari mbafole ite fananko bismillah and welcome and content back inata purka nying role azum. And we assure you of our total support and coordination and collaboration and partnership. It's a family. And definitely we have no doubt that you will really blend in. And of course, our fans and supporters. You started so well. You sounded like Booba, but a better version of Booba. Please, when you play in this part, blur it a little bit so that Suko Booba di deklo, boom degalumawa. Boom digga this part. But you did absolutely well. So I'm really excited and look forward to what we have in store in the show. So mbafula mulbe minkan jube assalamu alaikum. Di nuyu ñep di am contente ak mbekté comme ni ko Sidi waxee rek di ñaanal ñëpp ci at bu ees biñ dugga nii yal na nekk ati jàmma ati naataange ati taxaanga at boo xam ne lépp li nga xam ne mbébétoon nañ ko joytu nañ ko ci at bi romb muy 2025 yal nañu ko yàlla sottil yëpp ci at bii nii lépp li nga xam ne mooy suñ liggéey suñ ñaxa ñu gis njëriñ ji lépp li nga xam ne la ñuy jublu tamit yàlla yombalal ñu ko ñu jot ko di wax ñëpp happy new year because this is our first show in the new year so di use opportunity bi rek di wax ñëpp happy new year a prosperous one waxuma prosperous nag prosperous I said prosperous
That's correct.
not prosperous di ñaan jàmm rek so excited Juma Mubarak another grand Friday another grand show and another grand guest so di wax fancy rek sit tight relax and we bring you a great show we're gonna do it how we do it it's the grand Bantaba.
Perfect today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
See? I walked in, nobody told me I look good. But you see, Sidi has told me.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sidi.
Well, of course, Lamin Mani Financial Janne, well, of course, television by Toyala, Baha Bulo Mutarim Bake. Lamin, welcome to the show.
Barga Bake, Sidi content about the book I joined the Contano Tandila Molemina Lonko in the platform of Shaka and Mr. Kora. I think Mr. Bojan Molemina Lonko will call a Massimola Carol. Barka Jibir Lal Fanan Tendu, be Catacol Minki and Kajika Star Scenario Fanan, Mukulet Mialonko, it's encouraging. Besirim Violet to and Bio Sonko and Latveka UDP representative, but the people of Mutaring, be by election campaign or kind of Satikon. Another for the Purunsi so content the better for being a translation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lamin Maneti, executive member of UDP la Youth Wing, member of executive Hokono, Mafle Fane Bissimila. Abla?
Yeah, Sidi. UDP call. Nima for fun, Ibuta UDP. Niela Parenya Nimbuta UDP. Naka Risbano, Dendipo, Yenasan, Kurto, Samato, wala Kawaso. Killing the yellow sokola. Killing the yellow sokola.
Yes, we are going already.
No, UDP Rangaya. No, when they're dressing, they're conscious that I have to represent that I'm from UDP. But I like it, I love it. And you're welcome.
Yeah. Ablai?
Yes, thank you and assalamu alaikum to everyone. Those that take time to watch us, to listen to us. And of course, New Year to Gambia's grand sister, Sis Nene.
The queen.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
queen. But today, the lady, yeah. Yeah, for the next week, I'm the lady.
You, CD, as Nene has put it, we would cooperate, coordinate, and of course, ready to give you our best. Give best to the people that are watching, to this country, and to Kefatu, top, bottom, and we say New Year to them as well. They have been doing a very great job, and we hope God is going to open more doors, more opportunities, and we also hope more sponsorship would come this year, especially for Kefatu. They're doing great, honestly. Saying also welcome to the Grand Bantaba, Mr. Mane.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course our grand guest. And I'm happy that God has given us some permission to witness 2026.
Absolutely.
And we pray that God gives us
Amen.
some more permission.
Amen.
To witness 100 years to come.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen.
In good health and so on. And of course, those that have gone, as you've put it, we pray for them. And those that are in prisons, on hospital beds, we pray for them equally. All of our parents, all of our fans, we pray, that God continue to extend His blessings and grace and favor on all humanity and so on. And it's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Baraka Bake, Wolemu Ablaiti, Mbadingolu, ko nga fale nyamen jong, sankuto ndunta wala kono. Mandingol data men follow drong sankuto kukuto definitely na luntongo be studio kono janne already nyato do manding alba jalale abe daming nabe ku jamal le kacala be ku dol fanan kacala le mi alon ko abe ke kan banko kan right na waranto aketa wati dantawol men yalon ko waranto lokun dantanu komanto be ko dol discourse la programme nyim fanan konole nimboto ngadum na luntango kan bo den mbabula le follow anin jama rahmano nyo kontong ni wo bata je don ngana programme nyim fon damuta na luntango menti bi wolemu Alieu Kora atem multi mi alon ko afaram farman sata bake politiko konole a tartanum patio mento num wolemu United Democratic Party a tartanu wolto num bar saying abe patio mento wolemu the Unite Movement for Change memo UMC a tartaw abe wol patio kono sainten nabe ku jamale kacala ala contributional men yalon ko ay wole kenum birabe no UDP dalilo miatina fintita fo adunta well of course UMC aning molbe yilla kan UMC mbe yilla kam munele bulu ñi movement mi alon ko alota ñi banko kanjang ñu bemu kulati men yalon ko ninna lun tama ba kacala le bar folo don mba dundi lale ani jama e ño konton Mr. Kora ñeji ya bismillah.
Thank you very much my judge yo mtalamu Alieu Kora itema kan kumandi international jato yo min tel nata kere fatu yo be na mo jatiol be konton na men keta mfana honorable bati nena Freda Gomez aning na coalition ni mel benta jang Mr. Mane and Mr. Bojang yo bal be konton na ba tentula bal jayla bankola ko wolum doron comme ko doron sidwa man satalla sembo be man so menna ay mbondi 2025 kono ay ndindi 2026 kono même na dafa nanke election sangote adun ngamantel men bebe siri njam bebe falendiru kuolto so dun sidwa ala si falendiro so nandi be bulu adun sidwa fanan kurantol mel be leptano to fala si kura farla bondi kan sawte mel tata fala si arjanna kallanke de yentel men tu jam fala si to harje frina anin temku na banko kan anin kairo ka sabati banko kan yo butun mo ko modam da lalto do inshallah ka ciabe nyaato mbadum balbe templan la mo dalbe be suti o fanga te janya nyam bar mba konton na katu nga programme ni lamoyle men keda fatu tourete alhamdulillah kontan ta bi sewata nga tar sirin jambi nga jangan yale bake kabri buba gaji ko la time wala bari alaman kita ala kita billa so mbe ala tentula mba jayla na honorable thank you
wala mu Mr. Alieu Korati atele ketanum United Democratic Party ila deputy campaign manager ti Serakunda West constituency aning Kololi ward telephone keta woti num nabe ku jamal le kacala bar jani nyaato do mandin to mine kanne nyinin karo dol dila bar jani wo mbe kul kacala le min yalon ko ibe keri nyim banko kanjang nal hakilo ba kan wati dantan komano safo lokun dantan komanto ku jamal le keta banko kanjang adaba kono nyin komata silo mi yalon ko sainten a chochobe warari ba bake fondin ke jamal le nyotuta bakono dolbe je men yalon ko be lari loptano to sainten dolbe je fam men yalon ko ibe yemandine mume itaradula long ñun mu kulati mi yalon ko lokun tambila komanto a chocho warta baki nyim banko kanjende kulungol be bula kan nyono male kata fundinke jamal lebe nyin silo ta kan kata nyin nyin homa silo la kule mi yalon ko mba kacala le but folo nene gis nañ ne bakwe bi ni ciobi mu ngi bari torop ci deka bi gis nañ ne semaine bu passé ñaari gal lo xamne dafa dem matna ay ndaw yu bari ñoo xamne sen bakkan des na si geej bi dafa nekk loo xam ne it is really distress dëkk bi nit ñi ñu ngi ko coow right now lan moo nekk sa reaction about this tragic boat incident.
jërëjëf Sidi te kontaan ne mu doon loo xam ne ñu ngi ko waxtaanee tey parce que ñun loolu la ñuy def fii nii saa yu nekk damay wax ne rek suñu waxtaan fii nii du ne ñoo xam du ne ñoo mun waaye suñ xalaat bu tuuti rek la ñuy séddoo ak askan bi te liñ ci jublu mooy yeete yaraate indi yokkute indi jëm kanam ak juboo daal loolu rek mooy waral suñ toog fii nii ak li ñuy waxtaan waaye this particular thing backway bii nii ba am ñi nga xam ne dee nañ ci du benn du ñaar ñuy compter ay hundreds of young people, individuals, women, and even babies, children, mu doon lu daw yaram mu doon lu yéeme mu doon lu métti tamit waaye damaa njëkkee wax ne rek di masawu képp ki nga xam ne am nga ci mbokka am nga ci doom am nga ci rakka am nga ci jarbaat képp koo xam ne am nga ku la ci jegeñ ma ngi laa massawu di leen ne muñal leen yàlla te it di ñaanal ñi nga xam ne ñoo ci ñàkk seen bakken ci anam bu métti boobu noonu yal na ñoom ñëpp yàlla àggale leen ci aljanay firdaws seddal seeni baameel leeral ko it te baalal leen bépp baakaar bi nga xam ne defoon nañ ko si seen dundin métti na te lu mel ni méttiti Gambia yëpp la du ne seen famille si yëpp te Gambia yëpp a ko war a méttitlu waaye man du méttiti seen dee rek waaye su ma gisee how life is so normal business is going as usual boobu daf dee doon beneen méttit ci man parce que boo xoolee the amount of youth si nga xam ne ñoo dee we need to remember ne we're taking away a lot from our young population and it's going to affect our country economically. A country cannot develop in the absence of the young people because every time you get when the youth are the future leaders ndaw yi ñoo ko war a def ndaw yi ñoo ko war a def so pour man dafa mel ni rek yaakaar ndaw yi waaye fonkuñ leen parce que bu ñu leen fonkoon dinañ am ni ñuy def bi nga xam ne lii dinañ ko mën a aar dëgg la nag nekkuma di wax in isolation ne dañ ko mën a eradicate but we can mitigate it and we can also structure it bi nga xam ne liggéey ni anam bi gaay dem because boo xoolee gaal yi sa yaram dafa daw boo xoolee gaal yi pour ne they can even go a meter away from shore pour man du dara lu may yàlla la moo leen di mun a aar bi mun a egga fi ñuy egga bi gaal bi mun a li war a dal gaal bi waaye lépp tam suñuy wax dañoo ne ñu bari ñu ngi government bi nguur bi waaye it has to be a collective collaborative effort pour make sure ne lii aar nañ ko mitigate nañ ko waajur yi am nañ ci cër xale yi seen boppa am nañ cër ci lii waaye tamit nguur gi government bi nga xam ne ñoom la ñoo fay suñ taxes yi ñoom ñoo war a siitu it ne the environment is conducive enough ndaw yi gis nañ seen boppa ci dara ba war a tax ñu am option ok pour mun a ne ok ma def lii ndax bu ma def lii boobu sax di nga mun a bileem ndaw gi ne ko ok amoon nga leneen loo def lu tax nga defuloo loolu nga def leneen waaye in the absence of that if that is the only way in front of them they will choose that and they will do it so moo tax I don't want to blame them because right now dëgg ñu ngi nekk ci time boo xam ne option si bariwul de su dee ne am na option sax so ñoom loolu rek la ñoo gis te lépp tamit man fooguma ne dem rek a bugg a tax moo tax ñuy dem waaye bugg a dara bugg a tekki bugg a doon dara bugg a mel ni keneen ak keneen foo naa ne moo tax so it's a national crisis boo xam ne it needs a holistic view right and it needs a coordinated effort a deliberate effort pour gis na ñoo def pour aar ko soo xoolee ñaata dees la jël pour the authorities ñu dem let's say Jinak because foofu mooy the latest spot du ne foofu rek la they go from everywhere else years back let's remember the same tragedy xewoon na North Bank bi foofu noonu and bu painful fa benn kër ñu ne la ay ñetti nit ay ñeneenti nit dee nañ ci opposite ay ñaar ñetta next kër bi juróom mu nekkoon lu daw yaram lu métti yéen a saan ci dëkk bi yëpp sax du ma ne North Bank bi foofu noonu o ñoomi bi mu xewoon so mu ngi xewaat it's a repeat and this is not the first it's not the second how long are we going to wait to say enough is enough when everybody is gone bu xale yëpp dee bi nga xam ne amatuñ ay ndaw so di ñaax képp koo xam ne mun nga cee def dara especially the authorities the government nañ jóg buñ ko jàppee ne it's a normal thing xale yi dañ war a toog ñu def lan fii fan ngaa mun a wax ne am na factory boo xam ne xale yi mun nañoo dem ñu jànga skills ak yooyu noonu gis nañ fi this taking our young people to Spain la or is it Saudi Arabia whatever secular migration so which means ne ñoom ñu ngee gën a woon ndaw yi ne fii dara neewu fi dañoo jël suñ ndaw yi yóbbu leen feneen foofu la gaa yi mun a amee dara so pour man we need to connect the dots the authorities are not also helping the situation because ñoom that action ñu ngee really validate or authenticate the reason why young people should leave so imaginal thousands of about 10,000 or more ñoo apply pour them How many did they take? 39. 33 absconded. Like, seriously? So obviously they cannot do the blame game. Yes, President begin and muwa.
Yeah.
But to be honest, so they global hambi is as good as not saying anything. Because man's solution was not preferred. Honestly, see what no. So ko declo, it's not like man sumane kon at that age, ma desperate buga dem. Wah bobu no, bu mako declo. Aw ma dara lima se gis lumane hey na bugon na dem harama forma. Gis na yakar. There is hope in that statement. So the statement really fell short of what was expected and what could have contributed to averting or really mitigating the situation.
Thank you very much, Nene. Mr. Mane?
Yes.
Mune mola reaction oti nying komata silo mi alon kwa chocho be warari ba ka diamo be siare funding ke jamal ni tutafa.
Well, balfa warta bakele bari komi furum fana ngaje komi ngankangola mol kamili alon ko be balafa itandi kan mo la min yalon ko bi di mallem do la musol dol kotol dol dokol min yalon ko niol tutani mba jokono je kule mi yalon ko ni ku yamanke da maltati because nin ko fonninkel be banko betul sama nyulle molti min yalon ko bi satel lola ka dum fonninke killing ni muso nani bobulo ko no dimba ya jamalti de yo so ni o keta fonninke keme fula to min siato to ta kamunta satel le moto banko min yalon ko bi luska wollel barnina ta ko jibe yamman sakunda fanan na tarambulo jibe balon na ko mi nyilmu kulete min yalon ko ita stop lano because ning tolbe dindi wari wato min nen ka folen education is the key to success. It's better than silver and gold. Yeah. So yo imagine ite mari ita fi ji grade 12 you know mi ila mulmi ma ko no ko de pour que la karango la fa o stresso be kon ni boto fanan do ita for university you know ejita fanan stresso do fanan dem mod because ninjo be tu kono document rakering imagine wili lebe jikan kabo banko la wakara do la min keta maybe URR la kanana ko min ne afanyade mun factory lebe loring milbe will absorb e man soto ni nata ju adama la sioni scientema do ku jumal le create min ya lonko fona ke soronde barabu ke create because ning business ni ngol min ya lonko entrepreneur le yele jang min keta salonol ti ani mero la ni wafir silo la ay betu boyla anu new video jibe mol sotel min ya lonko ko dulali be fongol munafanka mi wolto bari sang komi wota keritol mi femontu eje bo falka finti banko ka ni ajibe state fana institutional pour ka mole employ o down do ya bata government ni private sector la partnership most of the time akake monopoly leti molbe mol mante mona fankanje bari fo toro bar ni nata adama fon le diamo jibe science intended the president ako ye Minnesota ya fon ne yel loan scheme pour ka je ko mi mol mini alon ko be ala pati kono card be bulol kono e be empower nyami sa nite wo miro soto pour mol min be tele pati kono bol empower nyami kodo la na fulo le mi alon ko no interest fonninkel fel min alon ko business ol be bulol kono anin ko dol ite mol empower no woda kamunde ite ma interest soto banko la as a whole ite interest soto pour ite le taru dam la banko ka min ite be kala president ti nyam bar ni constitution o jibi ala chapter 1 min Gambia as a republic 1 ka for the sovereignty of the Gambia resides in the people of the Gambia from whom all organs of government derives their authority and in whose name prosperity and interest these powers are to be exercised oto akamunta mansa kunda ni tol mbe contract le kon wala tin namul ka ju wala tin ka julo tanon tol toyal bar sa ni julol na de ka felti min ya lon ko ye politicize ke dundi mamoy ni mana do kul kono ni nyul la campagne mo ba fele nalen na candidate tombon ni minister fo diamtal already binamano yalla jan ba ñun mu julol leti min ya lon ko ni dunda empowerment ko ni ñu fu ninkel empower abe kala kuleti mi ya lon ko asa ñin kul minimize no barnal mo fo minimize no when we say security ngamine min security mbur tankarol nal mang employment no create no ya total security create jinak la case is a very serious case because hani say ngaji ko mi masakunda mon man sundu na jinek bari say atol the word security way mine mi ni nga jinak wolim kaje mol niol be tankala nyami oto say natol mantar mol niol tankan dikang mun atol mu security si falle bala fa warta bakele ko mi molbe bolo nam banko do to say kaji ko mi sina Gambia no je ta sati to mi alon ko Gambia la masakunda buka dunje pour sa tankandiro ke no nyami mol kana ni silota because amanke gamminol da mal bita kan sanin jinak la mol bita kan ni jinak la min yalon ko manke gamminol woto jinak mo hotspot le design for irregular migration anu masa mantra sila takam but dinek mol ibe namo jokan they deserve security but shine still ni man sakunda buka dun jineb who is the president from jinak nte ka fo molen fo president bi jil miya lonko is separate from the president that we have because they are not enjoying security social amenities sol miya lonko man sanyanti provide le mantri samba kanje woto jinek as a community febe isolated community le miya lonko nyanti la ko kele fon le ba man sakunda manyana adadu ne la ko to ba because irregular migration is one thing, but nying are exposed that there is a community in the Gambia. Mia longo, there is nothing like Masakundale ba imako ikanfena. But iba namo jokan. So nyimo bala fa baleti bari komi nene ya fanyaming atekel no Masakunda damma fananti. Fundinkel komi kule mia longo fongol ngajele komi niul lebe kasara kanyi. Niya de mulkata bagwe puru fong isi fong isa fanka mayano nyami yela mol makwe. Bari sha niwo na kasara munete bokel no nyadile. Ita kela no. So most of the time I cannot depression or from see family makotek. E mantra nyami ikana laban dunna wala kono. So bif diamula funding kel fane e katandile le komi social contract le balni man sakunda tem. Andal kata bankol mil fanan to ile funding kel li u bankol develop fo bibe dulal mil. Nga wakili nga sabati 5 years nga wala di nyi man sakunda na man tara ka do ku wake. Gambian condition no is not a divine fate. Amanke komi alale alanka. Gambian condition no is lack of proper policies and power. We still have opportunity to change. But in Ninkatara Siring, we don't want change. Komi Alfal coming from Tolbuka Mansakunda Soso, Tolbuka President Soso. Nulem Kulti Milia Longo, they are in contrary with the social contract that we have, and the constitution was spelled out. So for Tolfoninkel Sasiban Kokanga from the ward level, because development starts from the village level. Nga karifay mole at the ward level mini halong ko isang mako at the constituency level, chairman level, kata for president level. But ning karifol be kering fo ning keli dabe bondiji imang interest banko la kula. Itol nga finti dorong nga tanga kin million yalta and what not. Tubabu du fo jibe say. Ni mo bora nan tubabu du semester. All of these people ni ka fele komi. Kare fo be ay don to ticket wala puraka say. Utumo semester kili nabe konyo kang na kanana nim fuga jayol min kanana nim bagasol dama konyo bele kalon kumi kare wala semester nada barsa semester kanala buka futa mol fon wala suko na katara ma boring hotel to just household je mantra easy ring so wo is something mi alon ka be korim be tuma alinga do modo manjang bari man sakunda wonyan tala do ko kelal because of the social contract.
Okay, yeah. Ablay my reaction oti
By the way, before Ablai talk, can we put some respect in his name? It's Dr. Ablai,
Dr.
please.
Ablai.
Come on now.
You can address me anyhow you want to address me.
It's not a day's walk. It's not a week's walk. It's years' walk. Hard work. Lack of sleep. So come on. Dr. Ablai. Dr. Ablai.
It's fine.
Guys,
I'm okay with
we have a doctorate degree holder on this panel. Hello. Grand Bantaba. We are not easy walk.
Yes.
Which other panel show in this country has a doctorate degree holder? Grand Bantaba.
It's part of the new blessings.
Wow, the new blessings of the new year. From Amaterek, ñun ngeen copy.
Wow.
From Amaterek, fi ngeen ko jëlee.
And not only on this show, even on ESA. When ESA used to be here, ESA is also on the Vaj.
Yes,
So
exactly.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So they are copying, huh?
No, Kerfaturek.
You innovate, others follow.
Follow. Wax naa leen ne fii la mburu bi di xoyam fii mooy bu baax bi.
Absolutely. In fact, I have done this. This is part of the works that are under review. Is the the title of the paper, the research paper is Labor Exit, Cash Inflow. In the Gambia, we have that. Labor exit. Who are the laborers? You see, God, when God created man, part of the section of man that God himself, including the prophets, wants for himself is the youth. That's why he said, those of us who listen from the scholars and so on, that if you are youth, endeavor to pray, because that's the time you can stand well. You can recite Baqarah half, and you are not tired. When you are old, Bismillah, everything is weak. You go in. You understand what I mean? Now, that paper It's under review, most likely February, March, depending on the feedback I'll receive. But what happens is this. The argument is there is what we call migration enterprise distortion framework. So this means migration have some effect on our enterprise. Enterprise here means what businesses and stuff like that. And to what extent is literature available in that area? Literature is available from a humanitarian perspective, migration as an outcome, migration as a labor market phenomenon and so on. We understand that, but this particular one is not much looked into by scholars, and that's the gap that that paper is coming to fill. But what that means is this country is treading on a very dangerous path. The Gambia's economy is migration dependent. When we say migration dependent, means how much of money do we get from remittances? We hardly would get remittances if people don't go migrate. You understand what we mean? The meaning, whatever they are sending in the form of remittance, our economy is more than 60% dependent on it per se, and is growing. Some will tell you, no, it's a little bit less than that. But we can say the chunk of, or half of our economy depends on the remittances they are sending. And that's why central bank. Now, it means your future and your economy is in the hands of other people. Imagine if we have a situation where you deport 2,000 Gambians back home. What would that do to our economy? When our economy is a migratory or migrant or migration dependent economy. And economies in the world, Melialo, ikatano nyato, they are enterprise dependent economy. Meaning, it is businesses, not informal businesses, not micro businesses only, but these are businesses that are high there. They have growth. Companies. These companies are the ones that create jobs and absorb a lot of the use, because government cannot do that alone. But what policies do we have to encourage companies to establish? Because Gambia also, not me, give us, from my research says, we have more informality in our business. Meaning we have more people, family level businesses, micro businesses, businesses that employ 5 people, 10 people. You understand? More than enterprise level businesses.
And they're not registered, they don't pay taxes, they don't contribute, but they take from the economy.
Yes. Yeah. So what happens is, for government to come in, to make sure our economy is more enterprise dependent, instead of migration dependent, is government should create policies that will boost these informal enterprises, right, or businesses, to scale up. So if they are able to take 10, they will now be able to take 20, 30, 50. But that can happen only through what they are saying, if the government is ready and come up with policies. To make sure, okay, you're a business, you are informal, you're a family business, and so on. So you're performing, but if we give you this much, you can absorb this much, they support you. So realize that a business that is 5 years, and then they realize that all the accounts and the operations, everything is okay, they will now push you so that you will be able to absorb more from the senior school, more from the university, and so on. Now, if a business is family level, it's micro, innovation is not high. And who are the innovators? The youths are supposed to be the innovators. Now, when these youths, who are supposed to be the labor force, the innovators, the entrepreneurs and whatever, leave, you will have cash flow, which is remittance. But if you put on this scale, cash flow of remittance and labor exit, you realize that cash flow of remittance, what is that, in fact, that remittance coming to do? Most likely, still family level. They are thinking about family. They are not even thinking about community, because the money that is coming is for fish money. It's for basic thing. How does that grow the economy? It grows it, but it's very less. So you have a problem with formation of enterprises, growth, and sustainability. And this affects the economy. That's what basically that paper is. Now let's talk the normal random guy. It is the youths that also bring this to themselves. I'm sorry for those that are dead. We apologize. We pray God gives you Jannah. And we see the spirit in you. But I can tell you, part of the solution is yourself, and part of those that cause the problem is ourselves, the youth. He has made mention of it. Wallahi, alata jila nan jang, ay nyimbanko falin muli. No. Mba ding kambanding on funding kale. Ani musol funding ke generally alngalan ko nyim banko bi ntolle nga nyim banko sembo soto dina momoti in the segments of society the youths ntolle nga sembo soto momoti amanke na pability amanke mbama nyolti amanke mo the youths de sembo soto ntolle for the time me alon se carte final only the youths I can tell you ni youths so gambe be youths so ala yake dakota kwale so man so la mbe babo gindi la président lafta men ginda ba gilal woto ni quand même fo wala solution wote de nyim banko mun tol fo talati nan dake politiko kono na gibe oke ben fesi ata nga tambindi nama ke ku nga bondi nga bulaka fon fa ba kono the solution is our politics nyim politiko na solution wote de alinga song nyina ko politiko na solution oti alinka na kalite da mabula mbali fal da malbulo ye faaji jelleje comme me alon keba koto agakata bago ye jelleje most of it is the youth so nka energy menke aninka makmakol nin call menke to get a $50,000 or more pour ka back we start nin sita ngam fan strategies ngoken na politiko kono president tije memben to yabla munanna alla minister of youth and sport ka kodin din diala parce que agala youth soul they are not having much effect on our politics because they don't vote mansa keka mingi be walen jumale sen sindino jumale sen bondino aka wale danku aka wale mira woton tol youth soul ngalon ko nyanta ka nyita mansala ko sani ntol we are going to be your sleepless whatever nightmare nyin kamala be pagala ka dum politiko kono mbe lole mbe kante dila lata menna ay tam mindi nyaato ay gambia fenan nyanda gamena ta dame ni wo man kenga fana bondi bare baydi e ka diamle do itol protest do ibita wala kela wodum buka jama mansa ke bondi kay ko kono auto government will not even be forced to think about you but ning baso na ajage you so be paredal every day we look agenda. How do we make so these youths we take care of them? They have the energy, they have what it takes. But politically, you are a weak something or force politically. Until you so. By the name character give ya. Muso bita mintilikando. You'll be more killing all the politicians. Ita wala. Ha! Imo killing all the by because they get from far. And he do all men kana. Because if a policy mel fena, will be more force like a cookie. Woto youth soul ma appeal kila ibe da hoda nga kenyo kambang nga je ko ku memmen tolla sama batan la hey nyin Gambia right now nyin Gambia suratan tella dina aram bagoti dina halifa salati muna na nga ofo yela wala da kele ala fo solo ta youth la ala mem alati because wala se lo no kuke e salo ke no long hours e ku jamake even nin kelo na dino kono youth soul lem woto youth soul hani ala fa en ko mandira de woto ala ngam fan kum mayandi kati nyim banko sulatan to la dina kebal tisani ma fo kebal man fenke de hani nko pugo sama kamala nyim banko sulatan to la woto ngan na banko ta ben na banko ta la nyadi le kasi jeto to o be mu kilineti hanse o kenon na jeto kenon bare ning politiko sita ala ngan na moy parce que sama banko memu gambeti abe dada ka ntolle am ntolle fana nyanda ka dada oto nga gibe men fesi ata nga tambindi ne ama keku nga bondi. Gambia is a very tolerant society and Gambians don't have tolerant leaders. That's a fake thing. EU gave in 2017-18 11 million euros. Right now there is 20 million euros that is given for to help completion rates and so on. Why must that have, and that is only small part of what has been given to us. Nobody is talking about it. The youths are not in the streets, for example. I'm not saying I'm inciting violence. I'm just telling you how tolerant Gambians are.
They're not asking questions.
Kodi jamala dita, puka youths all makwe. Wakodo dunta mintole, adunta ay mune wulu. Hali for saying migration of another father bang abukatala. So they are banku dole. That alone will spark the youths to get into politics, do the right thing. But who is asking about the 11 million? Who is asking about the 20 million? And that is specific for youth. Who is asking? So we are asking the young questions. And we are going to things that are not very important. Youth soul, actually, government ye fego fe menke is fine but Bantaba bankol fana ba support kan de o ko do ndaminto mona na mto nyini kaka ba albo fana lo be nyaadi la mata politiko kon kono albuka sonka political debates gibe alma Halifa Sallah moyno alma momo la moyno Chelsea alsa fono jumala ya form aning aka jo jelle la fimo nsa fono na banko ni mo fa nyini kaka minister 10 namely in the youth folk most of them how do you expect this country to do because nima melong you likely be most tolerant because imalong so you accept so you should mal dani kan na solution o bentol lebulu na politico noma ni politico noma e balo na jumale fe seta jumati but you see for 5 days or 1 month because I want to see nyini jumale how do you know that how do you know within 1 month you want to know whether Kora is better this so nga taga now TikTok or to political gibe ka research ka gibe nyim banko betala nyadi de bottom line al ngana moy nga kakte fay ni wokete nga ko yusol torat billahi masa o masa sita yusol abe wala follow migala mbela problem o solve nyadi de
okay
so nyin len toñati yusol mbal dane nganda politiko kono ma fo eta campagne ni ta keno la ha ba agibe ila mol diamundi kakte fayo be nga bo nga kakte fay the right individually not because of religion because of this no jumale policy soto jumale demands jumale akrangos jumala lon jumala fego soto ka banko nyin samba anyanta tala dami ni wo manke all these policies are going to fail the last bit yen so demanding is do you know 1,000 people ni wale 50,000 la that is 50 million Gambian dollars now it means from families and youth folk just within a span of 1 year, they can raise 50 million for migratory efforts. New family. Government come up with a policy. Financial literacy is by force in all schools. Puro, you so they are okay, near 20,000. Inyanda ka doku ndi nyadile 6 months time ay nangam dile la. Banko fan ikata adame ka deposit. Ibe mu account sifale yella puru nyiye you waye no. Jamal, any family Jamal ni na dan ndata tala bago ina hani ani yim 50,000 no za doku ndi no 10 but most times people don't see any other option apart from okay ngata bago nga ku kena this is it again nga tonya fo nyoye youth soul jangim banko kan youth role ale continue most of the youth mel employ tanyim banko kan ye wul yala fo e fan yala defend ye employ ni tonya fo hani 40 yibi ke employ Bole bekeri di. Nagi be do membe keri. Muna na 11 million sawa de kamen funu sawa ko data. That is neutral al kuning. Aman ken to men ka dianya ngalon na de hani. Ala ya sabe ko be sila jangan na nonsense ofo. Ala sense ota no ale obleje.
Thank you so much.
What a malem. But financial literacy is another area me along government enta dunna pour moli along ko do se do kundi no even in banku kan. But they don't know anything about money. A society that does not know anything about money is headed for doom.
Thank you so much.
Quickly before you go, I think it's very important, this financial literacy part. I think schools, our education sector need to look into it. From a very young age, people need to understand the value of money. Not only amna halis. A lot of people, they will even work, you see saving, let's say, $150,000, but it's just sitting in a bank, doing nothing, or in their houses, because they don't know the value, right? How they can take that money and turn it into something. It's the lack of the knowledge. So that is really, really important. But one thing struck me while Bojang was talking, right? Okay, we have all these numbers going and dying, not coming back. And then you have a whole chunk, right, being deported, because when they come, they serve little or no purpose in society. So you see the two. At some point in time, honestly, it's a crisis that buying ko hell.
Absolutely.
Buying ko hell. You get fuck ne lunda wala 15 it dena, it's normal. 18 it dena, it's normal. 80 hala dena, it's normal. But legi, ñu bari duñ dé joke yu bari yoy. 50 years ago, our parents, they will have what? 17 kids, right? 10 kids, 8 kids. But now, let's look at the generation. Nyata nit ñoo am even 5 kids. Within 10 years, ñan ñoo am 5 kids. Ban jigéen xewatut. So, we're not producing what we have. It's either they're dying in the sea, or even the ones that are there, contributing to the remittances. We're talking about 30% of our GDP. It's eroding because every week a flight is coming, bringing back young people. So I'm listening and I was like, wow. I wish everybody else that is listening is struck. There's this aha moment for you to understand me. It is not our problem talking here. It is your problem and everybody's problem. And we need to collectively find a solution.
Thank you very much, Nene.
Let's set the record straight. Because some might be listening and they think, I said 60% of the GDP. Now, the argument is, remittance that is not coming through the normal, if you put it, is up to 60%.
60%, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Mbita wala fe straight ngana longtemps dundi na kaja soro studio kono jang de fon fere linkela drum foka Mr. Kora dundi Mr. Kora mbita wala nyama drum straight ngadum kaja kono ba dati lani dumal la ngana ni santo la yeah ba dati lani dumal la ba dati lani ndamen la wala mu nga fahamu le ko itatanu UDP party wala kono ite ka itatanu wolto non imeta jinje bakele a fo molie inata nyaadile UDP party o at the time wato me beje
okay auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin ya nde be nun APRC le
okay
like Sam Jata nyolu kata ala Baba Silong dem siala ani Bakar Jammeh is our chairman. Then Sam Jata is a ward chairman, Baba Silon Nyolu. They are all a ward chairman in Latrikunda. So Mbeje for 2017. Then 2017, I came to the United Democratic Party, joined with Madi Sise, campaign with him, win it. So Mbeje up to now, up to 2025, I think September, then I decided to leave the party.
Okay. Itata njele andum ye ku jamal leke nyim patio nyim kono je surtout bakawla mafon la Serkunda West la mafon la afo moliye yemu yirwa sifal wanto development sifal le samana UDP wato me alonko ibenu patio nyim kono je
yeah comme go like ning nga yirwal mel natije wala mo la structure nga make sure ko any word should be win. And la parliamentary election, we contribute a lot there. Madi Sise can be my witness. Then Madi Sise Lomu, then house to house, Sunkaro Kono, almost 2 weeks, both day and night. Campaign tale for and the election day, Panantena Talamu, the command Kamol Tale Swolo Kono, Keta ita cartel fight. Like comme ko bojang ka fa nyame youth soul al nga participate politico kono because especially youths wolle ko sonta la carte fa la fete no ma soul kono bar merol kata rantole dan ita youth soul no ma ni madi Cissé winta fa ala si round soto then nata ko teke then council famara fo fana the same thing I campaign for him Lamine Jammeh the same thing Musaba the same thing then Dipakunda but we lost there. Yes, so Nina Manjai Fanang, Lamine Jammeh was there. Lamine Jammeh Manjai. So and then Patiola Koku Nimfana Nana Tafanan like a contribute like a loala fana. Even the contribution also even the bureau kono do Goldmill baby gentle inka contribute gel. So nga Mr. nga doku jamala ke UDP kon.
Okay.
Simfa jamal le taji.
Okay.
Adu because inte mo molete me alon ko ni mu menti mu wolti. Ha nimbe patio kono mbukatari je danko doro. O mbukatari je ka foko double standard. Ban nim pare defana nga jibe ka fo nan la ko tita ñola do nim pata je rek nka move la straight away. Ko defana ne na principle lam. Mo bu kan de dictate. because ni ko United Democratic Party to mo be Democrat la atu kul faram bitani Democrat la so mo tan de dictate la je adu nte ku fana jela me alon ko jiko me nati je ngaje wo jiko nyin abe tinya kan o jiko nyin sa o tije ko tege ngaste je no amanke su kono kordate amanke su kono kordate pati yolo wala kan ni mel ka fuko ha ite bakatu lato hani de wata kumati pati on prince and principle le kamol si pati yokon so no principle falenta why you are waiting there so nyine mbondi UDP kon
yenyim beke UDP ko be kono le yenyim beke jele ko ya fo nyame but to mirol fotale there were allegations at the tail end ko ibe talib le fasa kan duma pour que flag biarati ibe nying defend no la nyaade
of course because abita kan nyoborol ari la da biro men ko sama nyoborol
so ibe talib fasa kan duma la at the time ibe no je
ha ma fasa de mbira kan fenne la fenyi jikite ko atele ba nola ni bita kan kula isa abe keno la nyama ba keno la wanyale mbukan nugu wala fa adun ka fa talib fa en ka fa ko men ka foima ni atara ka fo mo dole ma mbo wala support la to be a flag bearer of the United Democratic Party when they left to masakundala left to changes land I will not support any kafuko mbete support la ko ngel likely why even men yin income you are not deserving to get it no the buko satel kono marcel kono motol kono so len jitale talib UDP ni dina ñew ni sanelen marcel to bank leptanol to bank even the government sector even the official kono tande mo jamal la kadiam ko mo jamal fane aje ko close talo do mande so mo jamal kana kulol kono ba fulani motol kono school student so ngaje ko ñing changes pour ka because sanji fula saba koma ning former campaign manager Karfa Sonko mbe siring bitiki dal mbe kacha sarko lan ni ngulam so kay na kacha ko no dal kay ko ite ye carte fay min tole akwate carte fay barole 2021 but say baro kan is out of it atata carte di la baro abe da hala carte fay wol because he disappointed Karfa kay ko no but kana okay ne musi do nyini no mambe de kata dole fana nyini banito ko disappointed de carte fay la so bit lo disappointed lo kono ako Karfa woto ni ndeba carte fay woto albe talib ben sudan natila to be the flag bearer because talib Karfa kay why mbe talib ben sudan natila akay ko because njiki tatele ngatele je adu ngaje fana menke so already talib is sample le set me jaaje ko ayakele moli nyaaje so gambe din nada confidence dal ko ninga nati ay municipality mara kadu mewo nena manna KMC kem talibi menke je so ninga nadu ko tega asiku ga membe si ala nyin so isi jiko ni lanna to kala banko dia gambe be kamendo membe UDP bank memantari UDP bank abe so dai lo yakene ba fa saka ilata biro menna e ka wole fasa e jigita biro membe boyro kele e ka wole fasa
okay wati jumale mu iya kalamuta ko warato afudate la kalamuta ndiroto ko talibbe interested ne kake UDP la flag biarati andu ngajela fanan ila audio jamal bije men yalon ko ika talib defet bakele ka fasa ba bakele a trebe pati yokono wati jumale mu afudate la kalamuta ndiroto ko talib abe interested ne kake UDP la flag biarati
talibu ni ngofu dal insi kuma fo mam men faham bari comme wonte fana comme go moli ya ngani ya nyame
okay
ndel fana ngani ya wo nyaale ko sintel kanalen ka fay ko banko mol kela ku mol fo banko mol kela ku mo fo banko mol be la ku wot adum birinjam fo bolon kon yarum dol bi jebe mistake be makan ko siniyamo ka fo talib kay KMC dam mandum e malom même banko ka so ndel kana ko information o dial talib nte ngalo ka fa be interest al men wala mo ni sanji fula kana ni 2 years o kon kana nyina fo ni UDP danta dam ngaje ko tonya say afana paregal pour que danku gamedin la ni kanendirol parce ako itamu ikaradode molta mi ikaradode ay meya ni a soto mol ya dial so no mol nata fay ko teke lafte kala president akate de balan nawal wato le ngalo ka aba parere ne ke danku na commandiro na diata talib na la business solo he's employing how many 200 300 youths member employable nin ko di kuwolam baro ya ofale o nin gridi dom pour ka ke man sati doron baro ya kuma Macky Sall ki yakanne Macky Sall na sita pour ay join baro kan ay ke vice president assistant soto na londi akay non ndinga amere ko itanyanta menkela ase Mr President ye Ousainou Coumande ye baro Coumande ye diwni fadi yandi nde beni baro be do ko ken wala ku jama kun tawol ni obe lafri man sala atay dan kun nawol nata ba giriri ni doro mol ma long adu mol mental ka long même mu menti adiyala
okay ila audio jamal beji ko ngafunu nyami ila audio jamal beji ika talib fasa bakele muni atina imman tara dabo fasa kan at that time nana ta nyim flag biara sip wala ila audio men yalon ko ke fitin
dabo nga fasal nga dabo nga fasa men ke dabo ka do nga dabo fasal pour ka banko dial pour ay banko be mat 2021 nakko do men dun dawodo nto continue
ni ba haymala
nimba haymala wuli keme nim fiata mi tawala sedol be biro taylon men be bi jentela be tayl mba medial t-shirt on kam men sang ete kono wa donc t-shirt o sanne 100 t-shirt 200 300 t-shirt 2021 election men ka wa foro ke abi siri abi nyil la moyla ninna da ninga nyini ngela ko do jolle benna kariyam ko ko t-shirt kariyam ko t-shirt kariyam ko asobi na calcule wado 3000 4000 5000 ka kon tinga dia obe pour Ousainou man sa nga fasa kendak nga fasa men nga Ousainou mo ke talib ke mo ye mo fasa pour ka fisa man ya dia pour ka fisa ndi fan pour ka sama state house fasa tammi daw nina dimbar bi da carte faya fasal man nga fasaro men nga mo go talib
okay itata talib la site le flag biara sip ko nyin kola before the split janning faro nyin kake itata talib la site le already benyin kala menna are you loyal to Talib or to the party?
Nde. Well, I'm loyal to the party, but due to my principles, I'm loyal to my principles.
Ila sartol membe ko nyaani.
Na sartol meli alon kafuko ka tonya ni tilungo sabatindi ka demokrasi balundi. Look. Why Talib le safero weke problem oti naniro isia kajafiro isia yafi waxon li tele ñim foja mbe parti din kilim mbe inside the party atel dun ko alba démocratie le balundika pour momo si safero kenwal al momo le ñantol mu yañi ne why not mo clean safero ke dunia pe family tonkon naniro si fa pe kajafiro si fa pe despise ko na hanatel ko nin kari ya safen ta safel baratel parti din kilon safal ba hamere men kam mo jolle ya safe be pare la audio do dicta ko teke ko mo dol meli ya safe wol comploitale ila audio mo liyo la moy ko karnin kari fana bitala interview la sama alinga funting na tay bendu ibe mu pabila mo le ibe pabila bakandoro Suleiman Sao to fata jel e Amadou Sane to fata jel o audio nyun kon ngo audio soto odo dan min sa ko talib ni kin kelo be mu talib let so I decide anyway I sit and wait but I take all my decision. Because in kanyim follow ko ni atar ko next election ko deke because in kamem moy sate kono. Left a president, left a falling the role. Iko ibe usine taminda ko teke. Then they am done for the party because and at a win all. Han party ko be fan right now ten party nyum pan kon. Mol so tamendi alon kafo ko. Dal ba house to house lan kadu mol kan ko dal kon. Nim fura daje ke bal kafo ko de taliat ban dimbal be balian. Fon ngel be ben tel ya. Min dol bende kafo nyoko ntel chainde ntinaliade bari mbe siri ne la moy rol bari ngalo nako sawo sam kumboni ni toro den tata dun nata ko tek adu wol mu dedi UDP len ka pasa UDP campagne kon ba de relax
okay
hani la ñin campagne ñu national organisation toji dambe bi bala felo fol
okay mune yatinna ya decide finally ko ibe kafula talib male
bo si nga decide ko me kafula talib ma ngaji ko atale be win parce que mol ndebe gambia la ko wolto so gamme nol be dame be tar la wolto ndete mo ku do de ndete mo ku do ndebe gambia ko wolto so ni gamme nol be dame gamme nol kam même fonte babula la wol no you know
do you think UDP were fair to Talib?
No.
Munat ne ko man fair la karol.
Même fo ja wala muti ko. Mo do les affaires ok. Ba muna dia mo sara Talib ko. Muna nan ro san Talib ko. Hanin ko ko ka support le. Ngala audio bonda kam. But han Talib fana ne tarol dan ni besi ni nga forward for mo dol fan kon. Fon ki jokam far. Because ngana ni nga kuma kan même moy. Nga kuma kan même moy. Kuma si fa dol fulani. Sometimes for na wulula fanka laf kam fal because ka fogo itel ba ken na mol ben nanika. Delu bata be tale sanji lulo kon. So ni mel ka fogo hawja tele anyante lo lale ama hawja. Fijo taije kotake. Fijo taije. Ama hawja de. Hawja de politiko kono de. Ni ka hawja de Ismaila Cissé ji. Wala mo naka politiko ko. Pour ma fa je parti yolo. On est naka council hotel. Fane naka député te. On est mum place la ni Gambia kon. Para ma fa je parti yolo. Naka mo ma fo hawja dal. Ay tata dam dal grâce de. So why mo Talib kada mayor, the city of the mayor, the KMC. Tundo men warta Gambia bit. Tundo men ya lonko isa capital olo man. Men yo mara sanji say. Adu wol kontan dalo ko ko tek ay je mara first time second time ay anyini ala first election of 29,000 votes I will so ala second time election of almost about 56,000 votes. How much Usain get KMC in presidential election 2021? 40,000 votes. Ne député be kafu ñoma même boyta même mamboy ni UDP la député même boyta même mamboy ni be kafu ñom yela vote so kafu ñoma ni yela vote so kafu ñoma taliben su dala men so wala satati councilor même boyta même mamboy ni be kafu ñom taliben su dala men so wala satay be wote salon kafu ko UDP ya katat ma fa UDP ma katat ala mera election kon they take the big road there moy men kafu mo ko mo nakar
okay
adi yen yow la fana laaji bar foy so ñina ko mo le fana laate telekan ni wote Talib te winna usen na 40,000 voto nin danta wala Bakar Badji jolle so councilor mel boy ta même mamboy 30,000 votes yo le soto nin Talib danta wala Bakar Badji 42,000 votes le so mo le fana mel ka ko man duma UDP way Talib mom dama ko buga suma hol wule tamu 26,000 umti men la do no o tatioka exactly o 26,000 votes wol mu non UDP ledi fo nga so wala ni ñol bolo kon MC ñol bolo kon Modi Ba ya ñol bolo kon you can name them million ngam mellong kake fay no tan muso ben otumon tel be mol data kan kana kata kate fay aflata damen duratal police station o soron sungu dan no kabir ka go police ka go police station o soron ko lolu joanis he ko way yay yoy talib ben suda warna am suma carte musi do ka he UDP ko biyo ka ko man duma UDP way talib na ko bugal suma hol a joyta ko bebe banko kan aba le pati yo kono mul be la firala men man ngam UDP ti pour ala terminale man sakunda soto albe balandi so this is it ina kan nganda silota
okay UMC lotale finally a lotale andu ida tarta mol kono men yalon ko kelo ke talib ye bakele mol nya be mune expect kan UMC bulu nyim banko kanja
kamuna expect UNC bulu katu yalon UMC e kuma la soto mo kilino soto men ka diam adum be jam be siri njang man tar UMC tole ala jang be siri mfana e jang yo so UMC la kuoto ngam mel so mo be men expect kam dal wala mu right now ten na registration of banko be hawjar wol kon banko be hawjar wol kon dol lefta fasaro ko be tempu ni be la moyrol dol bi je do lo hawjar ko yembali avec ngom wol fana sotol bari wol fana ngan yo ngolon ne ala be jola wala
avec quel movement sifa nyaadi lati
comme like movement sifa
kafu sifa nyaadi lati
ha avec le kafo me alon ko abe kala yirwate dal anin gambia kadu talib bokol dorong gamme di le ba kumandika gamme kafolo ha gamme united movement no ndaka kumandol gamme united movement go gamme di le ba kumandika sio si beje adi sio bela fanjeje abe hani UDP kol beje itadi amula de karon ndele menta dol bi jewul ma hañu wala nya be dering be election lu mbatundi wota ban ngadu mol kan ni mol kat yam mol kan takol gambe di bele ba paré pat yo pati be ape ba paré ni ga fu ha abatala MPP le non est-ce que non delbe fiwla tala MPP dal fandira mbol tala MPP do ba UDP lo 250,000 vote oni akete nyanga 125,000 be mbulu jel
albo beta
mbo beta so next election ni election men kanate election ba si la fula tem wala mun tela na adam baro asafe yalla
UMC ni adam baro
ha election be tela tem
but they can mean for UDP the biggest opposition
party. Biggest opposition how 250,000 votes you also election mental o 250,000 votes fonda to kon ndel dimbal be bokon o da fay la UDP na kotak karfa fana December talib fana December all konti ba ya all konti so 250,000 vote kono 125,000 vote bentel bulo kono
albe adama baro jindi no la nyaadi le
adam
e kanyi mem foko ko fulala mo alning adama baro ani NPP albe mu ferel landi la pour kaje ko ale adama baro jindi
adama baro mu fero mel lando kam wala pare du wala gambe din lebe kafulam ma doron nga adama din ado gambe din be pare du wala wala pare du wala wala ba pareri wala ni banko mo la falindiro wala banko mo payta falindiro wala han 2021 wala ni banko mo payta falindiro wala bari mambiro je lafta menna
2021
ha wallahi mo ka fole just 2 weeks ago ni mo beda ko nyoko na shiri mbaka chaka akoy dega man adama baro la sanel way xamna ne adama munut way buguma UDP oto ban ngay ba ala da ko ni yes
Okay.
Ako gis nga gars yi defe naa suñ taanu taalibe tamit Adama Barrow la saanaay.
Thank you very much. Wolemu Alieu Korati, molemati mi alon ko natatono United Democratic Party le sainteng amantaraje abedame wolemu UMC ti nabe ku jamale kachakam memen kala tro wolemu pour kana panelisol dundi Alieu na panelisol fanan ibe nyinin kala nyinin karol be tarre bule men yalon ko ibe nyinin kala la kuol men yalon ko wolle bitaka anin nyinin karol men yalon ko wolle ketajam nene.
Thank you very much, CD. I mean, for the first time, I guess, I am, having a take.
You are so relaxed today.
I told you from the onset that, honestly, sitting on this street, honestly, it's like you don't have the liberty to have a position on a lot of things. Because the whole brouhaha, I had a month in China, I was in here, and then as soon as I came, I assumed the seat to host, basically, so I asked the questions. And as much as I try to ask it as, an opinion or whatever, it's still not the same, But then again, a lot of things has been overtaken by events, but notwithstanding, we have a guest and we're talking on the issue. So basically, I will not like to really delve in deep, into it again, not for anything, but it's been, talked about over and over and over and over, But just a little bit. What I want to say is, from the onset, pour man luma dumane betuma li xew betuma because li all of they wax like li ram si ñax bi la jëm te bu fa eggee rek samp fa kër. So dumane I'm surprised on anything. Dumane luma fogutoon la. Dumane luma expected on la. Now, a lot of talk initially, nene la xamoon naa ko taalib indi nene si booram xamoon nañ ne dina génn UDP nene moo tax mu form pateem nene moo lii ak suma xarit ci xol bi MC. I am not mad about all that. I wear it with a badge of honor because you know what? I've been given a power that I didn't even know that I hold. I've been put at a pedestal I didn't even know I was sitting there. So thanks to everybody that made me realize that. Now I hold that power, I could do that. And you know what? If I can do it again, I will do it even better. I own it. I own it. Because I believe the only constant thing in life is change. Change is important in everybody's life. When you reach a certain stage and you realize that for you to grow, you need to shift a little bit. You need to change. Nga am purpose fa nga newon indi lola yokkute indi lola jëm kanam di nga puusu tuuti. Ñun nag typical Gambian bi we are very scared of change. Ñun we are easily comfortable with where we are. Anything that needs a little shift la, we resist it. There is so much resistance. True patriotism is not about silence and blind support. FINAC, political parties, a lot of people don't even know why they belong in certain political parties. It bleeds my heart sometimes when I hear people beat their chest. Ntebe jele, kabirin mbama nyol, mamarin nyol, beje, ntete bola je. So you are there because of it's a generational thing. It doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't change your life and livelihood from your grandparents, to your parents, to you, but just because of so that mindset and mentality contributes somehow to our current predicament because that doesn't bring about change. In the wood, you understand? When we say we're patriotic, we should be bold enough to challenge systems that don't really serve the purpose of the citizenry. And I believe fervently, strongly, that is what the likes of Alieu have done. Nyam Alieu Lindef. It's challenging systems that have been so long, but they're not serving purpose and they're not bringing about the change. Hey, it is saying if you do something so long, it's not giving you the result that you desire, you need to change. You cannot do something the same way, same time, same results lalajo. Monolajo something different. You have to bring in new ideas, new people, new mindset, purunga gis something different. But the same thing, the same individual gis nga nit daf dee grow brain bi tamit noonu la dee grow yee am na fooy toolu mënatuloo think beyond sa thinking capacity bi dafa mel ni daf dee am na benn word bi ñeeli am na ice, you know, freezing point. There is a freezing point for hamne. So for egg, there is nothing more cold than that. It can only melt. It freezes again to the freezing point. It's a point where hamne you cannot go beyond that. And human beings also, we evolve. This is how we are. When we learn, you understand, munga janga. Why sa age tolu na for hamne? Lo muna janga muna tota romba fufunono. And then come for accept as human beings. If you want progress, if you want development, if you want growth, if you want to compete at par with the international, we are so behind. Balanko ham, Moval, just one border. Ni border sinu word. Moval, one border away from us. Right? Singasoga hamne, we have a lot to do. Again, I am not diminishing. We are nothing. I am proud of being a Gambian. I've lived outside for so long. To live there and come back, which means ne fi mo maginal fu neka. Waaye li ma xeex mooy ne war nañoo passé fii am na lu gën understand dundin bu gën dunda bi ñoo dunda nii te loolu mooy suma xeex loolu mooy suma advocacy loolu mooy suma mbébét loolu mooy suma ñaan. At the end of the day, we need to suñu tolerant, you know, man dama feel ne it's a word, it's a convenient word. We need to be tolerant, you know, political tolerance, religious tolerance. Why do we have to tolerate each other? We have to accept realities. They are realities. They are facts. We have to accept it and move on. All of them, as a man, with a fire, jarut buhante. For white how, bo sento dinga sen naka bidiw. Bena bidiw rek neko ci asaman bi. Ba tax ñu wara buuxante pour gis bidiw boobu noonu xëy gis nga ku wéet ni ku nekk ku wéet xam nga sa boppa gàllaaj bi nga xam ne moo baax pour yow booy nelaw booy sangu doo ko dindi ku nekk xam nga sa boppa te suñ ne suma boppam la gënal du ne bañ naa la so affaire bi dañ ko tilimal ba nga xam ne it's beyond repair te dafa ñaaw te dara jaru ko fi waaye at the end of the day consistency mooy yóbbu ku nekka dañ nekk in an age of technology boo xam ne loo fi waxoon na doon lu rafet de parce que bu dul loolu dinañ la ko indilaat man rus naa ma wane benn góom-góom ëllëg sibiru ma ñëw shift from that góom-góom du ne dara de understand nga suma own interest moo tax ma shift man pour man I call that dishonesty at every level it's dishonesty because man dama dee wax ne ak loo mun a def rek please inculcate the God factor because without it you are nobody. ñun politique bi nag fu mu nekk nii dañoo góom ne dama believe dama góom fii laa bokka waaye ñàkk jom daf ci bokka parce que ñàkk jom paasewul nga wax loo xam ne óor na la du dëgga waaye tey nga ne dundung fii ëllëg nga ne dandang fële ana sa góom-góom ana sa yàlla ci loolu noonu waaye mun nañ koo def mu rafet parce que at the end of the day ñëpp 22 registered political parties currently is telling us they have almost maybe 6 or 7 in waiting, right? So we're talking about 22 plus 6, 28.
28.
Let's say by the time the window closes, we'll have 30 political parties. But trust me, you won't have more than 4, 5, 6, 7 at the maximum. They will go at the ballot boxes. Remember, you have a system also that is making it very difficult for political parties to be able to fight through by, you know, the registration, the nomination fees, all those instruments are not to put dimbale political parties or candidates, why it's a measure, understand nga, pour wani ak def mu metti ba nga xamne ñu bari duñ ko mun. I see a discriminatory factor in that, but I don't want to digress. That's not the point. But at the end of the day, let's say 5 at the maximum, ñoy dem at the ballot box, but 1 is going to emerge the winner. Now, everybody is saying, Buguma Baro, a lot of people, of course. If I say everybody, that's not true. Because Baro, I'm not nit nyuko gom. Nyuko gom tarap. But I always tell people, the NPP, moy neka pati bo hamne dafa tela tas. They will not stand the test of time. Paski, NPP emerged from convenience. They did not fight, they did not struggle to become, right? Remember, Barrow was already a president, having the power, the tools, the resources, and then they formed NPP. So it was easy for people to just march into the room and say, I am a member, because it's all rosy and dandy. They have it all, right? Let's say the UDP is an opposition ever since. They fought, they went through so much in this country, right? Okay, the APRC, they are now opposition and struggling and fighting. They are now fragmented. The PPP, they were in government and now testing opposition and they're fighting to regain relevance. So those people, you struggle, right? They're doing the opposition thing. But UDP, think kumase, nyom, so in the baby baroneka to president, they're difficult to sustain boba. And a lot of people are going to leave because you bury faneka, they are hustlers. Munuñ ligay, janguñ, jonguñ, munuñ metit, buguñ metit, pare wuña def su metit, ñom dafa neex mota ñu nekk fa. Mota baro loolu la war di bàyyi xelam bu baaxa baaxa ci loolu. Bu nekkatul président ñu bari dinañ ko bàyyi dina wé torop nak su bàyyiwul xelam. Waaye at the end of the day, li ma doon bëgg a wax mooy ne benn nit mooy nekk président. So su dee ne opposition, okay, Barrow is one party, you have 6 or 7 affiliated with Barrow, right? Let's say by window, 30 political parties. So Barrow and 7 others that 8, or let's say 10 with Barrow. So 20 others are opposition. So if 20 is saying that we want to be at number 1 more in the party, why should you guys be fragmented? Why should you guys be like Hassan, cat and dog? Why should you guys be, kullo, kamola kullo bondi, just because of you want the same thing, but your ideas are not even too different, but maybe the strategies or the pathway, the route you've taken is different, is divergent. But because of that, you go after the person. Let me end by saying, it amazes me in this Gambia that you were like, Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna to Sidi. But because of today, Sidi is sleeping and refused to wake up. But all of you are sleeping, and Sidi wakes up and say, you know what? I cannot continue to sleep. I'm waking up. And then you say, crucify Sekou, crucify Sekou. That is the new trend. Imagine, I was the one singing Hosanna to you. So, Purman, I look at these people like, which side of you do I believe? Ban si yow lay ban lamin. Lamin yi demba bi, da lamin yi tay bi. Imagine the individual is the same. Change it. Why yow sa kadu mo change. So, ñooñu tamit, askan bi war nañ leen a moytu, askan bi war nañ leen a bàyyi xel, parce que man nit koo xam ne sa kaddu démb ak sa kaddu tey bu ma ko taajee mu utee rek yow dama laa ragal dama laa oytu su ma koo existé ay yow sax circonstance moo tax waaye hey maa ngi piitu di la bàyyi xel so nañ rafetal ñu xam ne jubluwaay bi yëpp pour number 1 Marina Parade bi la te jubluwaay bi yëpp pour man ak yow Lamin Bojang docteur Bojang Kora ñu jël suñ taxes yi ñu jël ñu dénkala ko pour nga wécci suñ dundin nga wécci suñ jëm kanam nga wécci li nga xam ne moo ñu indil yokkute loolu la war a nekk waaye xaste be saaga bi is the order of the day the lies and the fabrications is the order of the day. I'd end by saying, you know what? Results can take you in the room, but it takes character to keep you in the room. We need to check ourselves, our characters. We need to check it. Integrity, consistency, honesty. It's very, very scarce and rare in our society today. It is deliberate. It is a fact like a reality. We need to do something to sanitize it.
Thank you so much. Mani?
Yes. Agale ben solo wato la de diamo siat bi frol betu la diamo malal ni Mr Koraje a commencé ni foundation la mi alon ko wobi diamo fonctionner ndi la mbul bakel akwa benu APRC le for 20 after 2016 anata bo APRC kata UDP kam andabe principles le fo kanya wolem kangolti yenaje kabiri Mr Kora yaje mele wo watul betu Mr. Kora mon principle soto kaje komi anyenta tula parti kunol hani ya jame botaje wota kamunta Mr. Kora ka politics of individual leke than politics of the collective wala mo kun kilim politique le matela politique nyati dan mo jama politique katon 2016 mo kilin na botaje wala mi ya jamedi wala be parti nyaton ka yende kay kami fo APRC bari parti bit banko kanjanne ala kolo be banko kanjanne mi mu green tea ala fengo be registration o betu man problem so that IEC but Mr. Kora man any need jakoteke pour katu o parti kono because of momi ya lon ka parti lo mimu ya jameti mimbe mansialo watola wole tata ayaje komi woto yaje metata fanambe bolaje abina UDP ka wato mina UDP was not in the opposition bench ebe mansa kunda kono in the form of coalition amurunta mansa kunda kote ya fahamle abota mansa kunda dole to ay wala parti tuje because of president wala tata abota wala parti to anata parti to miyalon ko be mansa kunda kote ota bugala fi opposition yalo because ni wonde APRC be no opposition bench wala ka asatunoje bar kabra nata UDP jaw abe diamu kan dabola contest la Mr. Kora, Talib and all other min ya lon kay fojan ko inata 2017 ya dabo mako isinya clean campaign wala 2021 de pour être président bar kabri 1996 2001 2006 2011 wo be ya tara nyul be parti dolle to ka karre fay parti dolle to manjiki dabo le manjiki mumu United Democratic Party and Mr. Kora ko UDP democracy mol nyantala ni Democratic Party betu ngamillo minati na kabiri 1996 to 2016
excuse for itol ate for itol naya for itol jumani juma
ate Talib ay control ke jani min ya lonko inata 2017 rather kakafu UDP ka be wollel pluralizing it so saying ni wobe caring
but Talib mantana non parti do to
wala parti tole
no before anata UDP
abe parti tole
parti jama
speculation le atandi comme abe nu PDYS but hana mantra PDYS a karre fay
but it's not a fact it's
na
a
buga
speculation
karre fay
Thank you.
yes ngana yel na buga karre fay woto MC ko Talib mang voters card so that material type woto Talib nyento confirm ko mi to nyato antem banku dingol timi buga karre fay up to that age then wonente clear woto isalo aka karre fay parti le mi manke UDP because no nta be join na UDP woto akamunta nyul interest le si UDP mimu come because of UDP be in government and at that material time for B mol ka folo komi UDP have influence in the coalition government so wo influence ni UDP min soto je wole be si je ananata mine sima ay kairo le sima je because Talib nata la meyo ya soto wole kono nene council ya soto wole kono MC ya council ya soto wole kono Mr. Kora kami for tender preneurship alon tender bijela preneurship bi Mr. Kora bu political entrepreneur ya family political entrepreneurship and careerist in politics so nate ka fo komi dabo ku kilingo torondoro abelori wallet dabo kabu 1996 kana 2011 ani molbe carte economy ya lonko nin carte il fayde kontita science e ka boxo la nyoka neta e konti bunkilin kono mi ya lonko dabo la mo kilimbo katara sirinji abuka lom fon min fon sotta o dollar e ka sile ya mo IEC to komi dabo yenyi neso mo be to e songal fon wala nyanta bang fo ntol be tu na conscience sontel komi wom kulete mi ya lonko ku kendo lem nteni tebe mbore kono komi Mr. Kora ka fo nyamin tende ni mbore bante nyamin dore na bagasol be tu ciga mol min ya lonko instrument of the state the police the IEC mi ya lonko jamele ke la chairman appoint a be tu ya sid la kali na mol be bondije ya kontro ko yan koli ko nyeko ya announce komi yen ne sot anu mbewole tala with faith wole be caring all this election i kamil fotendin dabo is a serial loser mo be to no ko there is no fairness in that so come to 2021 Mr. Kora kamil fotende ani nene mbilo kumo lala nyoka 2011 UDP has the lowest vote 2011 election the lowest vote and any misoto throughout dabo contest 100,000 and very small margin on top of 100,000. In 2021, Dabo got over 230,000 votes. Is he growing or still depreciating? Molbe kafuka kandema fu molman lafal. If we are to go by the comparison between 2011 and 2021. What this thing of molman lafi Dabola is a myth. Molle ba narrative le mi alonko is concocted. Molla la nyuka ilafla ka coup d'etat parti kono pour ka Dabo bondije. But from indication of electoral results, atandile ko Dabo is increasing through molla kafuaka kabirin jameta 230 something thousand votes kabira ninja maybe contest la was just 100 and something thousand votes.
What was the voter register at the time?
No man, because number okay from 1996 number general knowledge will say that 1996 the voter registration will be smaller than
2011
2011
and 2016.
I cannot tell the exact number, but komi
But will you agree, it has increased?
It has increased, but I will
Okay.
also believe that from 1996 coming to 2001, 2006, might be a little smaller in voter registration than 2011 compared to the evolving society that we have. So that was increasing in that. Mr. Kora, again, ako iba jela loko mi tol nyimbe tol ning UDP fenkel tem Adama Barrow le tema ni election. Let me give him a foundation of fanado. And I've written an article, Nene Kumo Fojane, I've written an article about that. Kaje Committee on the unavoidable demise of political parties formed out of emergency. using APRC and NPP as my case study. Because all these parties, ila molbe government already with an intention that we are going to leave and give back the government. Then in CJ, they use state instruments, they use the power of incumbency, and the foundations are not there, like even opposition, community structural build. So what happens immediately if you leave, the foundation will collapse because it is only you left like a missing the man. So what like the APRC and it's going to happen with Adama Barrow. I don't know what time he's leaving, but we believe it's going to be 2016. So Ninata Odulato, Adama Barrow be siri watu minna. Still UDP have time up to 2018 or so. He was well known. Adama Barrow was well known. He was the, a flag bearer of the coalition. Ya wafile ya market properly for more left ale ya sam. 2018 abotaje kabra bola resources ba bulo kon. UDP la barama jamal tata kan. Jamela barama jamal tata kan. Patil min be banko kan. Even PPP la barama jamal tata kan. Nta grassroots fola. But do you know kabir warning Usenu Dunta Nyola 2021 Usenu number mi soto ramu soto jamela watu la fon. So ñul dum min keta talib na la multi side. Ñul be bokam patilo to watu min mumene mayor of a municipality. Barrow is the president of a nation Mia Lonko from Katun to Bolibana. Barrow ni Usenu contest Usenu was able to recover immensely at the past election in 2011. So they are just council. What are the basis they use like Kaja Komi Usenu but drop reasonably by electoral vote. Akamunta the basis is not there for Fenke coming for tenting. Mr. Kora coming for tenting. Now ko UDP but a 2-minute tenting in a number so nim codon. Ntonga lon komi sabotage le benu party kono. Anu sabotage ni mune keta parti la ala mol mini alongo ka parti wafi wala keta di organizing secretary Talib Ahmed Bensouda, the deputy organizing secretary Ibrahima Diba, the campaign manager Karfa Shongo, the deputy campaign manager Lopi, the media Tomosedi. No lem parti ke hadi jaw da je organization is these few structures. Usen da as we speak now abetale sitting ala suole kon. But UDP be mamanka mintol be mamanka KF election o konot. By election o. But usen mantra taka woto. Because I alone know me party mu institutional, it's run by individuals, not one person. So if we have min mol mini alone could be tole party wife ke ba market ka. They cooked something me alone could be explode. Everybody knows that these people even in the court because no one at least there should be someone me alone will be left behind outside new position or key position on coming for a party. Ntolga strategy falin. Nulka strategy mean use no. Gamenol ko wale for the carry the crowd. Imagine ite binala maybe ite binela komi ibina West Coast pour que la campagne okeje. Ika mol bon nam fo Basse. Ika mol bon nam fo Banjul. Ika mol bon nam fo Kombo South. You are carrying crowd all over. First akana fulo kasaral. We spent over $30 million this last election because of mola bungol nyanta jolan. Domorol nyanta tabilal every day. So monda tilibula ular. Winning ku mesen ningol mini ya long ko ike use eventual nyon kone mankele. So aka party cost kodo minna it is too much. And secondly fana abuka party na fafene because of mo kilimo libe ole ya indika. So mol mini tate no komi binina to boys you have a whole come akamu non deputy campaign manager de anin campaign manager kolol. Imagine na kololi constituency kololi la water also ina mol bon nan fo Basse. Atena do ko ba kala bineti sai. woto structure ni ka te londi ko loli word kad campaign manede ki jana fali so ntol nga wole bondi je di new dynamic leadership under the leadership of Suleiman Saho and Mfongo Koto Mani Pamani we ensure komi mbita kan tundu do sign so long a regional structure sotole amila do quality to mobilize before we come nta I was part of the tour kabo nga start jang watu mine esho up to kabiri murunta na nyanta banna banjul lembot natata labang welingara nka make sure sometimes because near janje kabiri mitala sukuta nga sanimentereng kombois not kombo sa gunjur le wol ma fongol betu sifo wol kana sanya wol betu ani wol betu lata nyokane pour ka ke janda mati pour ka ke sukuta mitomati so akamunta wodol there is no transportation, there is no housing catered for them. Hani domoro market because ni nata regional min donc wolle domoro ko do dilela ila mol min ka tabiro keje ila tabiro ke ila mol ya domo ni party leader nata ani discussion also aita ay atinna le manko di jama spend and we are able to do assessment kaji ko min stronghold be dula jumalet because if you are carrying a crowd the men ol kanamino e ka mo betu fintini bari buka win it's truthful. Ibe mol findindi kambari buka win but B because of ngani strategy say ka fo mote no so you see the contradiction so ntola strategy il falinta wala be tol silaka ya fahamle
would you guys agree that that's the winning strategy of the NPP?
Woman NPP is still now UDP la former strategy le be
No,
more jele
because
mini
you're
along
saying that it used to be your strategy and you've realized that it's not yielding results or it's misleading and you have stopped it. I'm saying that must be the winning strategy. Wait.
but yeah say so ya long take
No, I just want to interject or whatever. That's the winning strategy of the NPP because NPP has been doing that from the 2021 elections. They've been doing that. That's there. They don't carry crowd. You see NPP having 5 meetings in the same day. You know, and Muslim those meetings, Barrow is not even attending. So that's what I'm saying. It's not anything new. It is good because it worked for them. So if you're taking it, don't make it look like the other strategy was not bad. Now you're coming with an innovative strategy that is going to work. It has happened somewhere else. But if you're taking it, it's good. Man, anything that works for somebody else, and I want the same thing, I will take the same strategy and maybe polish it and make it any better.
Yalo mbo la fo kanu ngarizino fole nko na flu la karola nka kudi jamale spend for reference to the 2021 over $30 million is spent. NPP is talking about giving monies to those with card holders with zero interest. Okay, uto kodo bolbule pour ni lafle ka Gambia from carton to Bolibane ka Bonika Samba Dauda Diate. Because of your kodo sotale beyond campaign, every party right now is thinking about how can I finance my campaign. NPP is thinking about how can I have a fund allocated to card holders, women card holders, purika pay with zero interest. Kodo be bunto we are in the opposition bench, we don't have that money.
That's very wrong.
Yeah, family. So that means amanke kutin is exploitative. Malo be miracle nunyadila as the organizing committee. But it's very exploitative to the party and it yielded zero dividend. So as party, we went back, Kajakomingamurun drawing board, we work on it. We cannot be spending a lot of that money pour Kanaka lose. It's too much. $30 million is for you to come back stretch. Because of campaign dama, Fiamman la woka, Mamin domola melala dulalmin. So akamunta nyin coming for force, komi alana UDP, it's a political entrepreneur. It's a personality politics like Kabiri Yaje Metata, Amanson Stella. And Jamfana, Karbin Talib Tata, he went with him. Ya family. Kanaka nene la kumonyentu. Kaji kumi kukilungo itara kiri, mole itara kukilungo to maybe amantara fembundi ke. UDP existence ni banko kanda madama. The result that it has yielded. Any other country in Africa, near the opposition bench of UDP, for UDP will be ranked top 5 rank la world across Africa and even across the world. I can't make opposition bench oka. Atata le fo bihani imamu naba le mimbaroka or a priest in the church na starta ka fo komi banko mantra ta kuka nyinne nyenta kela mbuka jio fon soto jande will say UDP nkolle. Hani ite mimu jang host. If you start talking more about this irregular migration, they will say UDP nkolle. And wobe nukabirin jamme jamano fobi. Accountability, proper checks and balances ngole make sure I tell government ka. Ngole ke jamme le jang thinking that for multa te amera coming to jam UDP jamme konne. This is why hani bi mol ba fala hey UDP ni jamela mol bitala kata coalition nya. We are not doing a politic of identity. Jamme be no sirin sirango minka naman reta ku kan becomes the problem of the UDP, not Jamme as a person. Wala tina kabirin Jamme tata, the problem with Jamme is over. Our problem with APRC as a party, it's over because it's even in the government already. And that's happened exactly Kabirin Barona. Baro was one of our own. Neither come and told we have a problem with Jamme. Oh, okay, we have a problem with APRC. Nana Kabirin Jamme tata manina saying afuna problem or bandal. Let's let loose and enjoy. Kabirin Barona the Kabirin aje komi amantra takuka. Benyimim betu for kam policy failure mini alongo. They are not redirected kaje komi hadma dingola nyantol dilel. UDP ko lutale kayata kela. Anu hani fo bi baroni ani ninka jumalle mi la problème di bi silarin jamalle mini alongo ni bota jay nyanta sila ba kele jumalle aba fulele UDP. Because of the electoral data at Niko, UDP is the biggest opposition party. It's the official opposition party. Wutu momo ka smear campaign and everything. Amanke kuti in politics. You'll never mega rally ke mi alongo about 50,000 people attended. Anuntol na ni rally betu like I said I was there. The biggest turnout nga sort of KMC. Anunte I was the one mi alongo memara logistic la wodulan. Ngalo ne mo betu bota KMC hani mo kili mambo anywhere outside KMC ni okay foni nata as an individual kon long ta ngaji be mine bije ni okay let them bring proof because I still have the data with me, the logistical arrangements that happens there. Ya family anu kabiru ke defo bi nyul be der wo ko kan you can imagine ni UDP man number nyim bonni no KMC comme let's say nga number dol bonni dal minto compared to KMC then no wo be kele bi public fenkol. It's going to be a bush radio. Mo betule ba mo la mimbe kere. So these people became min for contending. Party mo le ke kati. Nyaton ko mo le ke kati. Anu ay kuma kilim fojang. Mr. Kora that mo ba fa ntol la talib lela na le talib tamindi otu mo len tol be carré fayla. Fo talib na fa minute wo party ko. Ngamara pour ko mo convince le la UDP ka. More so, he's an executive member with such a position of national organizing secretary. Nite maka mole for me and they are on the fence. You don't convince them to join your party and support the leader. Nkanele.
It is so sambala mindiru dula.
Hani. Bi mimbe caring kaya for work. Usenda abumanta takan kaya.
Talib tamanko.
Ya family. Ani ala come I simple jamaledi. Mbesirin ne mole konye kona rale talib le tombo. Karre fa usi da mona ta aleta akontela karre talib nyento sotola. Talib nyenta mine kela as a persona. As a persona. Bol. As an individual. Talib nyenta makes it, there's a communique. Public. Katani ko momo bento support ka ikatani mola ko ikantero support ntibe party le kone collective
but talibe ko kunyajuli
amake because ni wonte ni ani ngane yele ni mol mini alon ko ite nite ka talib advice nu ite ni ndafa ni mol ni betu ka ni
UDP ko no biya
mantara fo ka min keje na fulo la karol
man membo kala
ani mbatu
ni aje ko atali ya ko ninke ba
afa ele mbodu sanga
ninke ba ni lola lama ke ba ni ko lola ni mol mi fa ke faje
mejel jini la
ko ka ko
amine kan ibina
transport ni ama ko di ko la
ani sanga na
wato be tarajele
ngana ya fahamle
ko di ko problem
nin talibe KMC ateka wasu komi useni 40,000 vote le sodoje mi alon ko kabra for the comparison was even Bakar la number siata useni to wodulato in KMC. Very disappointing for a national organizing secretary within a constituent ibe minto email flag bearer winning the wodulato and opponent mi alon ko fail woefully as a minister wo fonketal flag bearer da wodulato ite you are swaying kaje ko mi have won massively nga sort of nearly do monimba double I mean, no last election, but you were not able to walk in because before Talib election will come, Hussein will election or not. So what happened? People don't vote for Hussein, but they will vote for you, and you still feel proud about that. Then you have failed with the position you are entrusted with. I failed all about that, big time. Okay. But in coming to land, mimbe caring kayaf, katandile le komi, party manke Hussein kun killing tati. Party mumineti, mo bi, yaje wodula, I mean, sane bote kier. As we speak, abala watu betu tujel kaje ko mi badingol min because kabra ako ni tol bota UDP ate dingol ana badingol beta ka refayla wol but la min sane be jen la bole treka mol min yalon ko personal relationship and connection be ani tema kaji komi wolnyende ka refaila no nyaadi Mr. Sani kaje ay by election on you win kiaman landi Sani bo wallaji ha Amadou Sani bo wallaji ania nyongol min ya lonko haninte fo min kataji I ensure that ngamol millo min ya lonko sedde aminwe ye na pati ka hanya manka usenna ko me usenna ko fole formu pour kaje ka refay moy mi ya lonko abije
okay
ika waleke
Mr.
bari de tarla no pati kono mol ka fe la fala la minella ay mbe comfortable wal sinte fo as an individual mbe do ko ke kam pour kam mole wafi mbe ko mare fo wole amnu se ko la kam votali fo dula do so ngaw glabe to senendi do mondi Talib National Organizing Secretariat Talib Tatel for what I heard from his own mouth that the first fracas between him and Barrow was something related to Kabrim Barrow Tata somewhere tola in the rural areas. Woto kon ay mol min je inatel don ko kafintina. Barrow yaje komi is not up to anything good as far as this presidency is concerned. He's going to contest. I'm paraphrasing it. Because of more Barrow, imagine President Bumburo betundo kang pour ka meeting so reje mo min triko da betu bina kam finde ko lado meyo ben sudan la bela na talol ba. Should that be the case? Because meyo be mole wa Africa bi ni wonenta kela meyo nyenta mix wala ko mi na fulu na resources nga t-shirt ko ciga usenda bo bije UDP la kola nga samba mole ngata ndili le ko mi ntela flale la finyine nal bitala adama la meeting dulato bi albe ndon ko le don bara be wosu kan ko mi wala be keri ngatele netalol ka fin imagine a region mi alongo even imang chairman fo sotoje because you are UDP man chairman sotoje so why is Talib t-shirts everywhere in URA not UDP's t-shirt
okay
there is a betrayal of trust there's a betrayal of trust and it's a concocted theory ya min cook with lot of things ya min put together a winnable candidate lem and indunta janal fin de ako 2 years ago or 3 years ago le along ko Talibe intention on soto and this man be UDP wato minute 2018 19 20 21 4 years later jani Hussein election wota kamun daning half of Aminke Hussein I half like a Talibe Talifan half of Aminke Hussein abo half like a for because so long at fa intention on soto in 2 to 3 years time that means Talib has already compromised as an individual pour kamo wafi abala kulet and wole manifesta akamin fana fo second lika fo ko mi molya mi betu fama. There is what we call public court. Near Kumo for the public have the right to hold you to account. Mobang Kumadun Talib should politically knows that a day in politics is a very long time. Politician, you hold your cards to your chest very close. Even Mimbe Kele Samo, hold it to yourself. Talib everywhere, even Jani Nimbe Silaba Fola community Benyamin, na interest totally, but Nim party leader Mantal Lola. A lot of places. I offered that before I have record wala atata coffee time I will be to photo and we have a month also before the flag bearer election. What are you telling people? Somebody is going to undermine you because a day in politics is very long. Ni la fla fiong la mute fong bulo but these people here.
But I mean for the fame mo. Allah ke bala fight.
Mole mun.
Afa ba bala ja.
Mun.
Atala fight. Ko da diro ko. Ninte ba.
Bari alon ke bani. Alon ko. Ani de. Talib ne no moto fo ngo barani de host yalo mkala fi jam nyim ko ani yala ben so wala nga so ya diam
Mr. Kora e jabi saying
Mr. mbana ngo blala ben mi lande
Mr. Kora isa jabi no fanani
ngo harbi ibe mem fo kande ko mol ko Talib ni ale Talib lo ne me carte failay ibe siri men na siran kan me e kinare
ya bayo
ha anyo ndata rajan wallahi yani ndata jan
hani afo ete mi fola bayo le afo dro
just after 2021 election just after 2021 election ngata de manja biro tumo mobe ni obe kuyare boyoke adam baro windi adam baro la suwol be kumala kirimbaso be kere mo yudi pi ko ben ni obe kuyare ngata de manja biro ndebe steri ko lo le nyulo akonye misa ko re kata mi don kay kasela kata la na bu akonye samba no le yenjindi to table yenjindi Senegambia nga bari anda buga fula Senegambia so ngachi kamuto la mbita fum futat bari nga ibayo ndal ko dafel bar anyway ni yenjindi jam fana ebe tandala solo jola adum be we of time o ba tamala bari futat Senegambia do just come back mbetaka ay nani wutole konkon akonya misa kora akonya next election be la molo londi la nkaje na mojo akon Talib ben suda nkal bolo londa ko nkay baro ba jam faren Mada election o kono karo fa man fa folo. Parliamentary election o manna. Chairman election o manna. Councilor election o manna ka nga man nga participate. On ka muna ke na konyo no ke bala ko ikamen fo ke bala do bo ko to tonyalam. Man sa inenete man sa ala. Ye danga man sa ala. That what that. Ba wala ñu fanya moto kon. Bi wala ko Hussein. You know, they all see the reality. They all see the reality. Capital Talib is the winning candidate. And what also no la. Maybe he left a UDP the fine, or he left a Hussein the fine. You can understand that. But you can find what the UDP could be.
Among question on you be feel can question on. Say I come in for ten sonko. Maybe so as I offer the sonko.
Yes, I'm Hani mo be UDP ko be Hussein support kam. Will Talib identify the quarter and candidate out in this 2026?
Okay. Ablay binawolto. Ablay. Say, yeah, Mr. Kora.
For the purpose of time, after Ablay, I just wanted to make some clarification before we move, please. Ablay, go ahead.
You know, this UDP, UMC, usually I think I want to limit myself very well now. Because, you know...
But you can ask.
It's a back and forth, and I don't like it. Opposition, why are we into back and forth? I can understand that. Now we have less than 12 months to prepare to face the big face. We are still, I think now the focus should be our strategy, our policy, and there we go. Because the common thing here, the common denominator here is Gambia. Whether you are APIC, No Alliance, Tombonjara or Gambia, nobody is looking for any other thing apart from this country. So now, into the opposition, I don't like this. You see, that is this. We are all human beings. Ining moka sile, pamane, and I catch at the castle level. I could offer those are not meant for public. But this political whatever is forcing people to come out. After all, Gambia is perishing. Gambia is sinking. How does that help Gambia? So and then saying I want to limit myself with this UDP, UMC. No, you see, these are all opposition, and they are all sinking. You are sinking instead of seeing how you get life jackets. You are still fighting. Of what? We still want power to continue and still continue this life, where you have to lie for government to employ you. If you don't lie, nobody's going to employ you. If you want to continue that way, even though it's our resources. So, until after UMC or whatever party that is opposition, let's forget about Menketa. Hey, we have issues. Hey, that guy be those are normal. It's normal. But now see the sign Kodak are different. Everybody should come on board. And right now, Kodak is Gambia. Well, I've been saying it and I'll continue to say it. No other political party should begin to feel otherwise. There's a misconception that Africa contribute Walter.
Okay.
Coalition ni alliance man ke kilinti. More than can you understand? Coalition and alliance. Upon ndame ngole fuide ma fon tol jande. Karo angale kan wa man uluja. Amanke kilinti. Alliance ni coalition man ke kilinti. Be partnership ole, be partnership different ale. Alliance wole mbe symbole nyininka. Mansaya mbe wole nyinin kan. Ka soto fonga kafu nyokan. Woto monding moba abe nantana la tabulo kanne ibe la miro fo ilafta menne ya be d'accord ya fo okay sign juma killing them ibe sonko okay nga kalite fa wala nga d'accord ko nyi tambi be nga support okakele wala alliance bala ale sembo soto banale sembo sonal pageta wala coalition oti abona ndame ka kenyame so parliament the biggest party, what like a prime minister, for example, select. Parce que, like let's say in the UK, they have a queen and a king and whatnot. Right now, King Charles is there, isn't it? So, prime minister, the biggest party, in the case of the Gambia, UDP will automatically, nobody's going to debate about that. But in this coalition, nobody is going to debate about that. But coalition is what? Now coming together to govern. Now you have power. So these concepts are different. Imagine killing tea. More than the understand. Power, I also the sign. Sign guy, I told the Alison Bostoli. Sign, go sembo tamandi. Jumala and the Prime Minister. We don't have that, but I want to start damning halfway at Chinyame. So that in the Gambia we can see how we go around it and contextualize the Gambian situation. So in that, okay, UDP they have the highest number of seats, for example, it's the biggest party. They will select the Prime Minister will come from them. But in the case of the Gambia,
and usually Prime Minister is the highest authority.
Yes, I agree. It's the highest authority. You know, you have what you call head of state and head of government. Now, head of state is a ceremonial function. Ceremonial function. And usually it's apolitical. Because you are heading the state, which encompasses all. Head of government is usually the prime minister. In the case of the Gambia, executive presidential system, which means one person you are carrying 2 heads. That is why when Barrow goes to state function or to welcome somebody, a foreign whatever, dignitary also, he's not the head of the government, he's the head of the state. He's doing that function. It's a ceremonial function. But when now it comes to doing real governance, that is the role of head of government. So head of state and head of government, they are different. So in the case of the Gambia, Meng Bentolbe Dahandila is a suggestion. It's not that it's authoritative also, but opposition. Now, Balak and you Chodi and saying a lot of things, history, and so all of us have histories now. Let's come together, let's discuss. Now, give a Munese Keno as party, opposition parties, and then we do that. As simple as that. We cannot go beyond what the Constitution allows us in the Gambia. So we agree with what the Constitution says, things that we can do based on policy. No, okay, based on policy. For example, let's assume, not assume, we give it to him, that Dabo is a legal luminary. He is a statesman. I'm meeting him bankun kanne. Nko, hani mantra of him, but hadamadiato, hani fali daji ko lebe, wala fali sonumale. Ye ko menke sangi mwa. No, ikaw no le. So let's assume Dabo, okay, now UDP, fine. We know this thing, you know a lot, but let's say when it comes to legal reforms that we can change using policy and other instruments without even going to parliament, UDP, you will spearhead that. So you, for example, will make sure the judiciary aspect, and let's say the agricultural aspect will come from you. Let's say Halifa is into some economy and some this and blah, 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 social reforms. Okay, these are the things that we can do by policy without even needing parliament. Halifa, you will head that. Mama can this that Momo along damning is strong to damning. So that when you just come to government, you don't have to wait for parliament. You can change all those things. And that means it doesn't matter who is even at the top. Because all you are doing is put Gambia. Then the big things, all of the parliament, Ali will sort out.
Those things are important. But mimu mobile problem otija wale mukake president. You want the by elections? Why are they not contesting the by elections?
Okay,
the other parties.
I understand. I can tell you this. Let me tell you. You have said here that Dolka dum political kono because yake business around. Ela dia mo emitande. But you go do fanaka dum political no because they will love the country.
Yes.
But you cannot deny those people that are in the politics for entrepreneurship now. That's their choice. So if they take that as their choice, you don't have to also say they should not do that. No. If you decided for yourself, go bank on so if you don't also sometimes lean in a way that you will be able to get these other people, it means we can operate that way. I want to bank or somebody. Meaning it's the ultimate goal. A bit difficult to achieve. So at some point, somebody has to give and take. As simple as that. And that's the situation in the Gambia right now. I talk to some UDP people. I know they love me, and I know I love them. And I love all Gambians. I talk to some of them. For whatever reason, I don't know, but I can say it here. Malo for whatever reason. And I always tell them that. But you talk to some people, they'll tell you, believe, Malo mune asabude, anu mafu dawa mambetiade, mofo.
Very good.
Malo fana ate winola, mofo.
But ko fo be abele ka.
Ha, but
ate kontani wala. But ko adama nyaap.
Don't forget Adam. Yeah, okay, Kelly. Okay, so what I'm trying to arrive at is, it's more for now based on no killing.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to say is, right now, none of these people to be leader really matters. What matters is, if they are there, what is it that they are going to bring about? What do we offer the Kenola minimum political commitment sort of from the day one? Now we should be masters. We did at least, let me still call it coalition as people call it, 2016. So in the mistake, we can see how we go around those mistakes.
You're showing alone,
Yes, I will assume.
You think?
I think we
assume,
should know the mistakes now.
Yeah.
Then now
I
we
don't
come
think
up with
so.
something far better.
Yeah.
In that situation, we can even see how we go around to make sure no mistake or menke at a repeat nola legally. We have experts that can come together and see how we go even more mutalanyaming at a kudo kenola. And that's what we will sell to Gambians. 400 days, this policy and this policy. Hey, to change policy more difficult. If I'm So it means if the minister is there and they can change things quickly and things will happen. That's what we need. We a long way to walk. We have very long way. So some of these things, policy instrumental lebinaka call fast tracking me. So bani man diamola more ya film tele wakata do ya film do ya tele and one in doya wala nyanda kafula puka ilafti be after many asoto. Then you have a problem. I always tell people, believe it, ni at a coalition, other government already, and UDP and nobody should say UDP should not lead. Nobody. But the case is different. Now you're looking for power, you're not governing. Alliance is when you're looking for power. Coalition is when now you're in government. How do we partner to move the country, to govern the country? So these are two different aspects. So Momoko, where do you see in the world coalition or the small party will can lead? They are right, 100%. But when it comes to alliance, you are looking for party, for power, that does not stand. Here now is compromise. Binale, nakacha, nagibe, what I will leave for you, what you will leave for me, they will fall your head. Akachewole nyama, akumasi nandame. Even though we have slight differences in terms of how we operate our governance structures, but don't adopt no in a way that mota jalakome inte elbole, nyage inte elbole. But yes, if it's coalition believe it, nobody should even go near the presidency without UDP. But that's not the case. That's really not the case. The case is now, how do we get people to get power? It's not now, how do we get parties to govern? So getting power and governance, they are different. So a lot of men now, let's stop. Let's stop this fight. Come on, ika ulu sare to yebo jeta sare do todi. So that's a normal thing. It's normal. Let's understand that. The youths, Gambia, let's come together. Let's forget about this party thing. At the end of the day, we want a country mayalo aben sambalale. Now, mistake of sort of coalition auto, let me repeat, was not necessarily, in fact, the candidate. We have a structural problem in this country. Believe it, bring Engel Gabriel and make President Gambia. He will mess up. Because you know what? You have to have something that you stand on for you to even jump. Gambia, we don't even have anywhere to stand on. No, we can high jump in Kudo. No, we don't even have that springboard. Member of springboard of failure is not out of power, it's systems. So coalition should walk around, alliance should walk around. What are the things that we need to change to put the Gambia on a pedestal? Anyone that comes, he will be able to do something.
Okay.
So wallet again. And that is why management is execution. Governance is system-centered. Leadership is influence. What these people are all looking for is not management, it's not governance. They are looking for leadership. But without governance and management, it's all like a three-legged stool, like this one. If one is not there, the rest will go. So leadership is not necessarily even the issue. Because even if you bring Usainu Dabo, for example, with the laws that are there and the way we operate, before you who vote Usainu Dabo, Usainu listens to you, he will listen to Jar Oil. For example, I'm using not negative way, Jar Oil or these big business people before you. And they will tell me, this is what we want to, and this is what we are going to do. Now, is there a system to prevent that?
Nope. Not right
So
now.
it means even if you are there, similar thing is going to happen. This is what we are saying. So let's look at the system from the alliance structure, and then we move. New one thing. Ahmad Samba. He has a lot of business here before. And he was pumping a lot into the economy, even though he was also sucking. But now where are his businesses? Gone to Senegal and other places. So Gambia, we are operating a system where more men nada. Ni kodito le katare bara. Ni boyta masikunda ete noma. Yetera business, for example, boyndi. Eta blood on fire. How does that help the economy? Even though they got all that money from us. So there has to be a system, remember, it would prevent that. Continuity, sustainability, etc. No one sort of forget about anyone that will bring angel to bring. I tell you.
Okay.
He's going to fail.
Thank you so much.
So let's work on that.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Dr. Bojang. But quickly, for the purpose of clarity, you understand? Again, I mean, I have said a lot on this Grand Bantaba that, man, it's pointless to even go back on it and all that, you understand? It's just like telling the people water is wet. But then it's been sung so long, you understand? When the situation arises, then they come up with it. Even Nene, UDP made her what she is, you understand? Because UDP appointed or whatever. Because again, he had referenced that even Nene Fanang Nata Woleta, Talib Nata to UDP, Mayor, Nene Fanang, MC Nyol, you know what I mean? Man mas madomin David Naxmaharata son and lol. Sister cousin see. But the reason why I wanted to say that is for him and others, because you have a certain section of the UDP that honestly, poor man, I look at them as really narrow-minded people who are so fixated because they're emotional in their judgments and thinking, right? And that when you do that, do they give things the way you're supposed to see it, then they will lower tower or the flower tower. And for the Flimawa is for those people, right? This idea of, Nene is who she is because Talib nominated Nene as a councillor. It's a very, very cheap mentality, narrative, pit bottom low on anybody to think that way. Man, what I say to the people, because you don't know me, you just saw me then because I'm in council. But if you knew Nene, you followed my journey, you will know this is a huge burden on me. Huge burden. Just because I love to serve. I go to council to serve. I'm not serving UDP members. I'm not serving NPP or APRC. I'm serving the residents of KMC. Because poor man, my loyalty is to them. Not even to Talib and Sudan, as the mayor. And when you ask the colleagues or anybody at KMC, they will tell you that Nene is here to serve. And that's what I do until when I leave there. You know why it doesn't bother me? Because Uncle Usainu, who is the head of the UDP, the party of the UDP, will not say that, will not think like that, will not see me that way, because I have interacted with this man from a very young age until I am mature. I've had engagements. I know how he thinks of, and I know how excited he was when I was nominated, because he played a part. So he will not say that. But the people who do not have anything to say about Nene, they will say that. This idea, honestly, is bogus. Nene Frida is multidimensional. I do a lot of things. I'm engaged in so many things. Okay. I have so many titles. Allowance of KMC really does not maintain my glam.
Okay, thank you so much.
It's really too small. No, but wait, it's important. But one thing I wanted him to know also, because you're throwing shit at Alieu that he came from APRC because there was Ngur, Ngur Mofanekon Mobile, them UDP, because they were in the government at the time, they were not in opposition. But how do you connect the dots leaving UDP and going to UMC? UMC is a movement. It's not even a political party right now, right? It's a movement. They're not even registered. So the work that it would take, to get to where, let's say, the UDP or the NPP or the APRC way, it's a lot of work. So somebody who is a political hustler, or what do you say, a political entrepreneur or whatever, what's the word you use?
Yes, political entrepreneur. But I use that.
A political entrepreneur?
Let me help
No,
you
wait.
I said identity politics. That means when Jammeh left, there was a structure called UDP. Alieu left and come to UDP. And now there's an individual
No, because Ali was in APRC because Jammeh was there.
Yes.
It was the government, that's what you said.
Yes.
But when Jammeh left, you understand, and Alieu left and came to UDP, and the time Alieu came to UDP,
yes,
they were in government.
Yes.
They were not in opposition.
Yes.
So you were trying to, this narrative that he is only going where the grass is rosy. And that's what I'm telling you. Then why would that person leave to go start something new or whatever? But finally, this perception of, okay, the UDP is not about Jammeh. You know, they had a problem with Jammeh, not the militants or whatever. You know, again, like Bojang said, I'm one person that will not have a discussion closed door with anybody, and I come in a Bantaba like it and say it. I will not do it on anything. But when I see you guys rosy with them and wanting to push this narrative, our problem was with Jammeh, not with the militant, I really find that to be so disingenuous and dishonest. Because Ninya feeling nekon, understand, hamantene. I'm not saying that they're not human beings, they're Gambians, you can do whatever with them, but so I'm on a position prior, which was strong, you understand, that you stand by and you did not hide it, you did not mince it. They, Madam, feeling a desperation. Hold on, of course.
Okay, then this is not the
APRC party.
This is a movement like
no,
wait, it's not a party.
No, but then they
so when we have
Jammeh.
No,
their leader is
it's not even a de facto. Where is it written that Yahya Jammeh is the leader?
They answer to Yahya Jammeh. They don't do anything.
So it's like illegal.
Hold on, help me here.
Okay.
Man, I find it. Hold on. That's important.
Yahya Jammeh instituted himself as the leader. There is no document
saying
that
I find it to be dishonest and disingenuous.
No, desperation
should not make you do certain things.
No, we know.
I was very shocked. I was very shocked when I saw Hussein Odabo for the first time. Understand that? And then say, oh, I was passing and they waved at me, I stopped.
People of Fonyi, not Jammeh, not APRC.
No, people of Fonyi.
Yes.
For the first time.
That's fine.
30 years that has not happened.
No,
why now?
Okay.
Like, hello. I see that to be so what I'm saying is, you all don't have the moral authority to hold certain people to account on certain issues. Chill. Really chill, honestly.
Sarota. Abe yamaro men fanam babulu abe mendila jama rahmano la ben signal kan ko wo ato bantale kacabe diaro baba bakere bari sura quand même ko donc li chabahala bire rek ñimu 2026 la tim benen drôle la folo programme jamal be ñatole andu wati jamal fanam be ñatole Mr. Kora be bula donc ye kumo labon fo ñim programme ko no me alon ko mfrata dan lato science what are your final words for this program?
Okay, thank you very much.
Sidi,
thank you very much. Ngal kontong nga kontante bake Mr. Mane and then Mr. Bojang and then
Dr. Bojang.
Dr. Bojang. Dr. Bojang. But Mr. Mane la kumo dol beje fonsi woli jansa domandi. Yaje Mr. Mane ku dol beje nal mo wol bula. Nal bebe nyokanne. MP UDP. Nte natara nte be mansa yalo no madro o me government no ma bebula la baro no ba anni baro farda wato men I should have to go with baro
but ata to mansale fana moti
no
council mu mansale kunda ndingol di bol
sarota
hana mansa kunda ndingol ta kana mbere ko bi amantara fento de ka bere ata abotan tol ka ata mansa kunda ndingol to do ko bijele
hani bare mi
local government
continue sarota
ya wona sa sani man sekunda badu kadunda
to mansa kunda
hani ore salon ko mo
shifting the goal
talib kanu mandar UDP talib kanu Allah hukumola Allah hukumola sande bo mo lokono
Mr. Mane Mr. Kora sarota
okay mbe sarota la mbe na parti di dafa konton men gada Talib Ahmed Ben Soudat the president waiting ba konton na adun yalon enyanda nyini kala nga fem falo ko mo sifa mem mati mo me alon ko ala nganiyo na be dame abole to anala democracy anala foreya anala lafo KMC la ni aje president wulta ka campagne kala candidate way house to house ani president anala candidate be boyndi amon ko de mo be la adaji ko anala lodula anala simfada oto mba tentula mba janja
okay
andum be duwala fana nga simfa menta falasin sawo kenya adala ben sawo kelanya
thank you
alaga to nyala fasa. This is the hard fact. Bi modol be wuri kan UDP kono bi wol nene ya fole iko talib jante kala flag berat bi be wuri kanje kumol be jel.
Thank you so much.
Wote banna So Mr. Manager don't accept that. Ado Allah campaign manager recently, memo campaign manager di. Pamane from APR Silam. So I want to
tell a story for Papa story for Lundo.
Thank you so much.
Papa story for
Thank you very much.
No, I don't even need to tago. Something just came to my mind. He mentioned coup d'etat. I just want to take you back to say a perfect example of coup d'etat was your congress in Janjambure. Go visit that and then you will see what coup d'etat is. Thank you. That's what
Watu bantale fereng if you even signal can.
So fereng bi bari na so fereng bi bari na fereng
war nga capture bobu watu bantale drong mon ngana fereng ke mbe jubir lal be tentula mbe jayla wala of course wato mi alon ko yewleta pour kany programme jube kaytan dalla ko mbal ba mba fulal be ala barka baba ke men yenyim programme sembentu yandi ka fasa wole mu APS and well of course care finder et le programme ni sembentu yandi ka fasa ila apo memo APS wallet mba fula mo be etano ma tombe fula mo be fana ya barka men yalon ko wolle style ki nim programme moto sain tenten ka fale fana alkal tenten ka style ki aka mako na do ko to bake men yalon ko golle ke jani programme mo men yalon ko wolle be mbulja nim fara jan dron mba fala le dron ala barka baba ke ala ma suto to diala wassalam.
Welcome to Care Madam Sanya, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities and the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. Care Finder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well, so you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot, trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Seka. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because Care Finder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 4172215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale, has an owner and not open for viewing. Care Finder is here for you.
Nyatimbo ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia le mu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbondri taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS nkullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo mi fo enda sija. Ndanga moyo ko APS wallet isa kodo kinu. Min tata fo wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindi jam.
Ako. Nyati mbo. ngoy ko kabo transuto kata wala fo wili mwang ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele san ike tamun ike charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% da malam ngati
wota yara gabe no be nyanta wulla kana EPS wala tele mobile ko ka ko do ki ibadi ngol
yaade ni EPS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat din suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti kol sonda ila EPS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek
ha
ni woto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas power isa hawasima ajibe free priority je
wata mbade ngamye no albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela la mobile ko APS wallet nyaata doro bari ko do nim fata do suko kon to
ni be fono le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.